San Antonio Spurs were knocked out of Emirates Cup contention 104-93 by the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker had 29 points in the winning effort. Victor Wembanyama was named Defensive Player of the Month, leading the league with 3.6 blocks a game. The latest college football playoff poll is out, with Oregon holding number 1, Texas holding 2, SMU and Boise State rounding out the top 4. Surprisingly, Alabama in, Miami out. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. How we doing? It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ, joined as always by the smartest guy in the room, Rob Thompson.
You finally figured it out. Good
morning,
sir.
Rob. How you doing, buddy?
I'm outstanding, actually, for a hump day.
Hump day. My coffee ratio is off today.
Ratio to what? Bourbon?
No, I use the oat milk creamer stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what it is.
And
I didn't know you can milk an oat, but that's another story.
I didn't either, but I mean, you can milk an almond, you can milk an oat.
I don't think you can milk an almond, but that's another story.
I don't know if you drink cold brew coffee, but I've got my I buy, I don't even know what the brand is, starts with an S, of this cold brew, and I've got the bottom shelf of my fridge is basically like, 4 or 5 things of cold brew and a couple of
unopened bottles.
Unopened, yeah.
My wife makes her own, so I thought you had like 4 or 5 of the pre-made.
No. Yeah, I don't make my own. That's effort. It's
I don't get
crack
it
and pour.
I'm not anyway. So you have a bunch of coffee, and oat milk's your preferred.
Yeah.
Why? Are you intolerant of lactose?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. But it's flavored.
Okay.
So
I'm not being a coffee drinker. I'm just curious about.
So I don't have to have like some kind of syrup or sugar or whatever that I pump into it. It gives it a little bit of sweetness and flavor.
Yeah.
While giving the cream.
When I do drink coffee, it's 50% cream to coffee ratio.
See, I like about a 10 to 15%. Unfortunately, today, I had the amount of oat milk that is if I didn't pour it all in my cup.
So you got the full.
I wasn't going to have enough tomorrow.
Okay.
And it was tomorrow. I start a new flavor.
Oh, big day.
So
you went extra today.
I went extra on the oat milk.
Did it?
And now it tastes like little kid coffee.
See, I drink little kid coffee. The more you put in there, I think I'd like it more. But
yeah.
Is it always oats?
So I don't know. I don't even know. It doesn't taste like oats to me. I mean,
what's the stuff in our? That's not oats.
No.
What concerns me about the creamer that we have?
If you have creamer that doesn't have to be cold,
that's what I was going to bring up. That frightens me.
I don't like it.
I don't know why, and I'm sure it's perfectly fine.
Coffee Mate or whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to name Coffee Mate, whatever that brand is, but it just seems to me it should probably be in the refrigerator.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If it's creaming my coffee, I want it to be cold.
That it should be. I feel like whatever I enjoy probably needs to remain refrigerated before it turns on me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So but that's what I ran into today was I poured that in. I was like, oh, that's a lot. And then I filled my coffee to the very top, and I was like, oh, still.
See, I would have been, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, yummy. It's like ice cream.
I like the taste of coffee. I don't like black coffee.
No, I can't do that.
But I still want to taste. I want it to feel like I'm drinking coffee.
And I think the reason why I don't like coffee is because my first, when I first started drinking coffee in the military, it was only black coffee.
Yeah.
The creamer.
Yeah.
So the first time I had it, I thought, well, this is awful. Who would want this?
Well, those people are trained to drink it that way because you're not always going to have access to creamer or sugar.
And it was not. I drank enough of it. It wasn't for enjoyment. I mean, it was a tool. It was a necessary thing. If I could have injected it, I would have done that.
And that's like most people who are in the military dip rather than smoke.
Yep.
At least in the job that I did.
Mine too.
So I was in the
You're
infantry.
around munitions. You don't want anything.
Yeah, same thing.
Sparking or flaming.
So when you're on a patrol or whatever, you have to have light discipline.
Right.
And that means you can't smoke. So all these guys turned to dipping.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, it's like 90% of the guys there
When in
are
Rome.
dipping. I didn't. I can't do it. No, I can't do it.
Wow.
I dipped before a football game once in high school and vomited
everybody
all
does
over
that.
the field.
I don't know how we all managed to become dippers, because everybody gets sick the first time.
Yeah.
Nobody survives the first time.
Well, and also my dad dipped, and it was repulsive enough to me that I was like, I'm not doing that.
I blame my college roommate.
Yeah.
My first roommate at Texas Tech. I didn't know what dipping was. I'm from the southwest side of town, and he introduced it to me.
I would think the southwest side of town would be a place where it's
around the military base. Yeah, I knew some dudes that did, but nothing. I never tried it.
Okay.
And then it was introduced later on.
That seems like a South Texas tradition.
It should have been, but not in our little neck of the woods. It wasn't quite as big a deal. Now, I did, when I was a child, put some Red Man in my in my cheek.
And
I mean, everybody
put hair on your chest.
Yeah, that was my experience. That
Yeah.
was the dizzy vomiting. My God, who would want to do that?
Well, Mike, I want my coffee to taste like coffee, much like when people drink alcohol and they're like, oh, it doesn't even taste like it has alcohol in it. I don't like that. I like my booze to taste a little boozy.
So anybody who says that enjoys Scotch.
I don't like that.
See, Scotch is like drinking gas.
I don't like
okay.
it. Tastes like Scotch tastes like the earth to me.
What about sake? Like really good sake.
I like sake.
To me, it's good, but it's like drinking lighter fluid. I figure if I ever drank lighter fluid, it would taste just like sake.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a negative thing.
But I like whiskey. I like mezcal. I like flavorful drinks. I don't really drink vodka. You know why? Because it doesn't taste like booze. It doesn't taste like much. So I don't drink it. I mean, it's not like I'm opposed to vodka. I'll drink it if that's what's available because I'm an alcoholic.
I saw where Stoli's declared bankruptcy.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, American Stoli. All the fancy brands took them out. But in my day, Stoli was the brand. If you walked in with a bottle of Stoli in the 80s, that's top of the line.
People thought it was good.
Stoli was the stuff.
Yeah, it's not.
No,
it's
not
good.
anymore. But back then, you had like 5 vodkas. You know what I mean? There wasn't a whole lot of choice.
There wasn't a lot of options back then.
No,
that's why
the liquor store was a little tiny strip center that had like 3 of each.
The people I grew up with, they're convinced that Crown Royal's good stuff. And it's like,
I drank my fair share of Crown, but that was one of the 3. You know what I mean?
That's what was available, yeah.
I knew a lot of dudes drank a lot of Seagrams.
Oh, God.
Seagram. 7 and 7, baby. Woo! The Quince 7 and 7.
Yeah, not me. But yeah, I've been through the worlds where there was only bad booze available.
Yep, you make do.
You make do. And I've been through the worlds where only bad coffee's available.
You ever been forced to drink nothing but Southern Comfort?
I've had my share of Southern Comfort.
That's a military bottle right
yeah,
there.
That is.
That Wild Turkey.
It ain't. Oh, Wild. Oh.
Everybody, when you say Wild Turkey, most people go, oh.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. I'll take Wild Turkey. Like, I don't particularly like Jack Daniels. I don't particularly like Jim Beam.
Of all the average, Jim Beam and Jack to me are essentially the same liquor. I can tell the difference, but it's Coke and Pepsi, and that's the ones I drink. If it's average, it's Jack or Jim.
But if I'm going to drink bad whiskey, I'll drink Wild Turkey because at least I know it's going to get me there faster.
Well, it depends on where you want to go. It'll get you someplace.
To the hospital.
or the jail cell, one or the other. But if you want to get there fast, fly the bird.
Yeah, it was. You almost died on the way in because it's raining.
By the way, if you're just setting your alarm, it's yuck outside. It's
be careful.
Ireland.
Be careful out there, folks. A little rain in the forecast today.
It's not raining, but you're going to get wet. It's one of those kind of mornings.
It was raining a lot where I live.
I didn't. It was never like drops. It was just you walked outside. And everything it's just wet.
Yeah, the world is wet.
And it's more wet.
The air is wet.
Yeah, it's just more wet's coming. And I hit a. You get up when we do. There's not a lot of traffic on the highways, and I hit a puddle on I-10 Everybody who drives I-10 in the morning knows when it rains, there's a specific place where it puddles. If you do it every morning, get out of that lane. Well, I didn't think there was enough for that to pool. And I hit it this morning, and I was the only car for a mile either direction. And I went into a spin. It scared me. I almost peed myself. I almost had to turn around and come home.
The drive in today was like, the very first thing when you drive into a car wash, the very first part that gets you wet, it was like that all the way in.
That's it. It's just kind of just wet.
It's not like it's not like humidity, so it's more than a mist, but it's less than like a full-on downpour. So it was constant.
It's going to be a goat rope this morning. So if you
I
just
I can't wait to hear what Debbie has to say about
electrically
the traffic out there. It's a doozy out there. All the rain. So be careful out there, folks.
Be careful, but one load off your mind, that stupid Emirates Cup. It's stupid. Stupid. That's a dumb idea.
Yesterday was when I complain about the way the Spurs play, yesterday was the nightmare scenario of like, this is why I say when it goes bad, it's going to go so bad. And yesterday it went so bad. You know what? We'll talk about that next. We'll go ahead and we'll dive right in to that coming up next. It is the Morning Huddle on a hump day on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Tri-County Meat Market's got your Christmas celebrations all in order. Tri-County, they try to take care of you the best way, and we know a great meal always starts with great meat coming from Tri-County. But when the holiday season comes around, they do something a little bit special for everybody. They start putting together these boxes that are chock full of everything that your resident meat lover would want. They're cold-filled boxes. And what they essentially do is put together packages that fit exactly what you might be chasing. If you're looking for steaks, they've got a box for that. If you're looking for steaks and extra meat for that, I recommend going into either one of the locations. They got 6 different styles of boxes with every different kind of cut that'll get you through the year. It's a great gift. If you're looking for a corporate gift, if you're looking for something to give one of your best clients or somebody that that really appreciates that grilling arts, I promise you, they have curated 6 different boxes, both dry and cold, that are going to please any kind of meat lover or any real foodie. It is a phenomenal gift, and go to Tri-County to find either one of them. That goes along with your daily specials that they always have in play. And this is the perfect time to go in and get the gift for somebody who is really a connoisseur, and at the same time, take advantage of their weekly specials like that 5 for $30. Prove to yourself what I know. It is the best deal in San Antonio. 5 different items, including meat. Fill it in a bag. It's $30. I promise you there's 2 meals in that. Get a couple of meals, get a couple of steaks, and give the best gift you can give to somebody that truly appreciates the very best. And that's the Christmas gift boxes over at Tri-County Meat Market. 2 locations, over on Huebner, out on Ralph Fair. Head over there, put some good meat on the grill, and I know you can come by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a closure at 35 northbound Somerset to Palo Alto. Shut down with an 18-wheeler accident. Traffic is stopped from Fisher Road. Off-ramp blocked as well. Looks like there's damage to the bridge. So this could be closed for a while. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line, 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
When you're injured in an accident, you shouldn't have to face it alone. At Thomas J. Henry, Your fight is our fight. You will have a dedicated legal team fighting for your best interest every step of the way. We've given over $1 billion to our clients in just the past 4 years and have earned more than 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. Trust the firm that fights for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 12/28 in-store only.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. And tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up. It's golf.
The best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift, or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Want to win the holidays? Ulta Beauty has the hottest beauty gifts your family and friends actually want. I'm talking beauty gifts they'll be obsessed with, like wow-worthy exclusives from Tarte, Charlotte Tilbury, and Clinique that everyone will rave about, and luxurious fragrances from YSL, Valentino, and Ariana Grande. Of course, when in doubt, you can never go wrong with a gift card. Super thoughtful, yet super easy. Visit Ulta Beauty today to get all the best gifts for everyone on your list.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL, Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle 94.1. The Spurs go down. Womp, womp. Despite the best efforts of Devin Vassell, who was seemingly the only person who showed up last night for the Spurs.
His bench play, it's a skill to come off the bench and be hot at it's like, to be able to turn it on whenever you're required. That's not easy to do.
Well, I've kept saying, and I will always stand by this, if you are not a good three-point shooting team, the answer isn't to become a volume three-point shooting team. Like, it's counterintuitive in my mind. And I know everybody tell me, the analytics say you got to do it.
Over time.
And to me, it's like,
that's the witchcraft, isn't it, AJ? To figure, okay, now it's time to stop that from a team that was shooting 50% just yesterday and go, you know what, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to go back and running plays, and we're going to, take mid-range jumpers, and we're working the paint, and our three-point plays are going to come the old-fashioned way. And I don't know if you ever do that anymore. Used to you would, but now I think because the other team's going to continue hitting threes, if you don't try to make it up with volume, you just kind of go like it's the second game in a tennis match, and you just kind of punt. I'm going to keep shooting, and maybe we'll get hot, but we're not going to win this game.
Now, I get it when you're shooting, 35%, you think, okay, we're a 35% three-point shooting team. But historically, this group of Spurs has not been a 35% three-point shooting team.
But they have shown incremental growth to where you start to go, I'm going to rely on the next shot to get this thing going. And you just keep relying on the next shot, and the next thing you know, you're always down 12. You really don't have any kind of rhythm. You haven't established any kind of thing that works for you in the paint, and you got no recourse at that point. You've run through your bench. There's nothing there, and you just, let's just keep shooting and hope for the best.
If you shoot in today's NBA, if you shoot 18% from three, no amount of volume is going to fix it.
You're right, and that's the witchcraft of when do you do it and when do you not? When do you go, all right, Wemby, next shot, if you take it from three, I'm pulling you. You got to get in the paint, man. And we got to start running downhill plays and not pull it up and take these threes, trying to get ourselves caught up. I don't know when you started. When KD rolled his ankle, you thought, okay, they're going to go into halftime and we're going to figure out a way just to mitigate Devin. He's on fire. We're not going to stop him, but let's mitigate the damage. And they never could. They never could mitigate the damage. They couldn't find a way to get any kind of offensive flow. And you're right. The volume got in the way of everything else. The first thought was hit a three to catch up. Let's match that three that Devin just hit. And it looked like a bad team flailing around. But we're going to get those.
And to his credit, Devin Vassell, 4 of 5 from three. He made half of those Spurs threes last night. 4 of 5. Fantastic. The rest of the team, not so much. The starting five, 3 of 31 from three.
Yikes.
3 of 31. 1 of 8, 0 of 3, 1 of 9, 0 of 5, 1 of 6.
Now, AJ, I don't want to pin anything on anybody. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday, that Jeremy Sohan coming back after being gone since, like November 2nd or something like that, it's going to be an adjustment. When he got hurt, there were some questions about cohesiveness when he's out there with Wemby. It's not bad, it's just not good. And once he got hurt, they were forced to play different dudes with different skill sets, and suddenly three-point lanes opened up. Offense started getting better. And it's not because of his absence. I said it again yesterday. It's not because of anything he was not or was doing. It's just because other guys filled the gaps that he left, and it worked. And now it just didn't seem to work yesterday. And some of it might be the rat poison of success. We're hitting buckets and everything is working well, and we beat a good team on the road, so we can maybe bank a win. I don't know what that was last night, but and I don't want to blame Jeremy for it, but he shows up after a month and a half, and that offense just didn't look good. For whatever reason, it was bad shooting, but some of it was It was bad shooting because they were in the wrong place when they took the shot. You know, it was this thing that didn't flow right from the beginning, and they never got themselves on kilter.
So one thing, and particularly when you shoot so terribly, the one thing that Sohan's very good at, and I'm not a big Sohan guy. Like
he's a garbage man.
I get it. I know he is, but I don't always understand. Like, I don't know if that guy should be as heavy of a rotation guy as he is. But the one thing I will say is, on a night like last night, when they shoot as poorly as they did, he is the only player on the team who is a consistent offensive rebounder.
Well, I think, only starter that's got lots of minutes. I think Bassey's like a savant on the boards. He's just kind of small.
He didn't even play.
Right. And so when he's not out there, Jeremy has a nose for the ball.
And when I say that, Wemby gets his share of offensive rebounds, but almost all of his offensive rebounds are he puts it up, misses, gets it back, and puts it up again. Sohan rebound, like the long rebounds that come off of threes, he's the only guy who does it, of the guys who get major minutes for this team.
Yeah. And so like last night, it's a necessary evil, but you wonder, are the shots being missed because the cohesiveness is off with him in there? Because whenever Jeremy's in, it's 5 guarding 4. Because the only thing Jeremy's going to do is take a last-second three from the corner as a desperation, close the clock out, or get a shot up at the rim after an offensive rebound. That's the only thing he's going to do on offense. So suddenly the defense changes because I don't got to guard this cat.
There is that argument, but there's also the argument that the shots aren't falling because and even though they have in recent games, the shots didn't fall because, in general, this is a poor shooting team.
It was with Jeremy. Jeremy gets hurt. Suddenly, they go on a shooting clip, the likes of which we hadn't seen in a minute.
But we're talking about a 5-game. Like, this is a small sample.
I'm going to say one game does not matter. But my fear was yesterday, as we knew he was coming back, that this was going to happen, that this was going to throw off what should be, this is a bunch of young kids, and it was a house of cards that flowed for about 3 games. Looked great. And you knew it wasn't going to last, but I didn't want it to be Jeremy and his appearance to be the one that kind of shook the apple cart, that just kind of changed stuff. And it felt like it did.
It did. And you know what? And some of the, like, Julian's a solid shooter. Wemby's a solid shooter. Obviously, Devin can shoot. The rest of the guys are known not good shooters. Mm-hmm. And Chris Paul and Steph Castle combining to go 1 of 11, that's not Jeremy Sohan's fault. That's you're letting bad shooters take volume 3-point shots.
And Castle brought this. He has not been shooting well. He's been the lone dude that's had some issues from the field. Now, we covered for it saying his defense kept him on the court, and it did. But last night, the shooting woes continued, and his defense was a little off, too.
Yeah, Booker. I mean, listen, you play against Devin Booker, it's going to be.
I mean, it is what it is, and that might be one of the reasons the shot was a little off because the legs are working hard on defense.
And you also, you went against Devin Booker 2 nights after you chased around, like I said, De'Aaron Fox, the fastest guy in the league, and DeMar DeRozan, one of the best pure scorers. But yeah, I don't know that I can blame Sohan for what I saw last night.
I don't want to.
Because I really do think it comes down to they fell in love. And this is what can happen. This is the worst thing that can happen to you if you're a bad 3-point shooting team is you have 3 or 4 games where you shoot pretty well, and all of a sudden you think that's what you are.
Mm-hmm. That's the witchcraft that Mitch is going to have to learn as a young coach. At what point do you go, enough? It's not about the next shot. It's not about you miss every shot you don't take. At this point, we can't do this anymore. We just got to go manufacture some points another way. And I don't know what that witchcraft is, but I know at some point you have to do it.
I trained with a guy when I was fighting who was a world-class jiu-jitsu player, like one of the best grapplers I've ever met. And he had 2 fights in a row where he caught guys and knocked them out. And suddenly he started thinking, I'm a knockout puncher. This is what I do now, instead of doing what you know you are.
Mm-hmm.
And the Spurs, with the last few games before last night, they convinced themselves we're a 3-point shooting team because we've been knocking dudes out. So that's what we're going to be now. And then you remember, oh, that's not what I am. That just because it happens a couple times doesn't mean that's what you are. And eventually, that 82 games is a long time, man. and everything kind of comes to it. Water finds its level. You know what I mean? And if a 30% 3-point shooting team shoots 40% for a week, chances are good a night like this is coming.
It's called regression to the mean.
Yes.
But you've got to raise your mean, and this is the time you raise your mean. It really is. When you're becoming a good team, when you're going from good to great, and you know you're a playoff worthy on your best days, some days you have to have a bad day to get another better day. You have to go out and do some things terrible to know that's I'm terrible at. And that's why I love an 82-game season. You can lose these kind of games. And last night did matter. You lost a game that had a modicum of importance to you in the locker room. I don't care whether you're going to Vegas and playing on a funny-looking court. You're still playing 82 or 83 games. Just win as many as you can and get better at every one of them. So last night, if you bring that knowledge of, hey, we can't roll out and take 43s and make 11 of them and think we're ever going to win, and we're going to have to realize when that time changes. And it shouldn't be the coach having to tell us. You should know on the court, look, man, get to the rim. Do something a little bit different because that ain't working. And we're not there yet. That's just, as a team, they're just not mature enough. There's got a couple of guys that are. Chris Paul is here to kind of change the gears when it happens, to shift us into that mode. And it didn't happen last night because everybody was a little flat and trying to chase something that was not going to be caught in that three-point line.
And no one likes to do it, and I get it. When you've got a player like Wemby, no one wants to say when he's bad. He was bad last night. There's not really much other way to look at it. He did a good job on the boards, turned the ball over a lot.
Didn't score to the second half.
Sometimes he just is. I don't know if he's trying to do too much, but he's very loose with the ball. And obviously the 1 of 9 from 3 is just dreadful. But the truth is, when he plays poorly, this team's not really going to go anywhere right now.
Well, that's going to be
for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to get used to it.
Because the drop-off from your best player to your second-best player is so extreme that if the best player is off, with the Lakers, if AD is off and LeBron's good, they're still going to be okay. If Jason Tatum has a bad night and Jaylen Brown picks up, they're going to be fine. The drop-off from Wemby to the number 2 guy is so extreme that if Wemby, as much volume as you're going to direct through him, as much as the ball is going to go through him, if he has a night like he had last night, you have almost no chance of winning.
Yeah, I think that'll be – we'll say that for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how good Devin gets or the third star, when your stud like that is off, especially a dude that's not around the rim to clean up even his own mess, you know what I mean? He's taking threes and can't even go get an offensive rebound to clean that mess.
And that's the biggest issue when Sohan's not on the floor with Wemby,
right,
and Wemby's chucking threes, there's no one to rebound that. It's just like, well, that's a dead possession.
So it is that hamster wheel
it really
they get
is
caught in. And it sadly, we're going to see more of this until they finally get it figured out. But, even the very best teams hit a stretch like last night where you're just off. The key to this is, with young teams, how quickly do you shake it? How quickly do you get back on? Like, the great teams never lose 2 in a row. The Celtics, even though they got smoked the other night by Cleveland, woke up the next day and went out and won a basketball game. You just don't lose twice. You get bit once and you get back on and figure out a way.
And the important thing to remember is this is not a great team.
No, it's a team that's getting good.
A team that's way, way, way far away from being a good team. It's a work in progress.
It's getting good.
They're better than we thought they were going to be, but also when they have, again, like I said, when they've got these runs of 3 or 4 games where they have success and all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, this is a playoff team. We're probably to blame for this too.
How much?
Let's slow our rolls.
Okay, as that's my question. So how much do you want to see Mitch and the coaching staff play with things? Because now this isn't playing. It is, you're going to have to reintroduce Jeremy Sohan to this team, and that's going to take up some time. But once that occurs, once he gets back into the flow of being one of the top 8 players, whether it's off the bench or off, on the tip, what's the next thing that you try to improve on you try to get a guy in position to get better doing something, but sometimes you sacrifice possessions in games doing it. How comfortable are we as Spurs fans knowing that this is a play-in team if they play their very best every night? Are we comfortable sacrificing a game or two not intentionally, but doing some things that they're not good at to try to get better. Because that's one of those things, because NBA teams don't get to practice. The only time you get to, implement anything basically is in game. And are we ready to sit guys down or put guys in situations that might not necessarily lead to a winning game, but might help the team in the long run? Are we past that?
I don't think so. I think the time's to do that, and we've seen it. The Spurs, when they've won this year, there hasn't been a lot of blowout wins. When they have had blowout wins, it was against the Jazz or the Wizards. When you're playing these crumb-bum teams, that's the times, I think, to play around some.
That means when you play East Coast teams. You don't get to do that in the West very often.
No. But you're getting your next game on Thursday is against the Chicago Bulls.
So that's a team you got to win this one.
Maybe you got a chance to if you can get a lead, you got a chance to play around a little. Pretty soon you got Portland coming up for a couple games. Maybe there's a chance where you can play around some. But I think and I also think when you're playing Western Conference games, you just have to play to win those games. When you're playing Eastern Conference games, you can experiment some. But when you're playing against the teams that you're fighting for a playoff spot with, you have to go out and give yourself the best chance to win that game, even if it's at the detriment of improvement of what's going to happen late in the season.
Last night, the fact that Zach Collins is a comfort sub. You know what you're going to get for the most part, and he is defensively. He is a backstop. He is. But when you don't get minutes from Bassey,
I hate Zach Collins.
You shouldn't.
I really do.
You should.
I think he sucks.
Well, he doesn't suck. He's just thrust into a situation that's above his pay grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What he does effectively, he does very well. He's a very good paint defender, and he's an excellent pick and roll dude, both with the ball and without. The pick and pop shot is a threat. There's things that he does very well, but he's not a starter, and he's not going to do the things to greatly improve other guys. He's going to help them along the way. And when you don't do one thing great, like when you can't put Bassey in the game because you can't play defense because the threes are going everywhere and you need better you just get a little cockeyed. And we didn't get a chance to do that improving. We didn't get to see a little bit more Bassey or Mamu because of the situation they found themselves. This was just go win the game kind of night when at some point you kind of go, well, the shots aren't falling. At some point, let's try a different method because we're never behind. They never got more than about 10 points behind. It was always just close enough to continue doing what they were doing.
To me, the nights like last night where you play a team that doesn't have a big, and the Suns don't have a big
with no Nurkic. No,
yeah. So it's like Mason Plumlee got a few minutes,
and he's stiff.
Yeah. So on those nights, I don't need Zach Collins. I don't want to see him.
Well, you didn't see him much. I mean, that's just it. The thing is that the 5 was no longer played a role, and it probably should have played a huge role because there was an open point, and they were a donut, especially when Durant was gone. That was a small team, and I
saw him enough to know that he went 0 for 7 from the field.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be doing that. If you're only playing 15 minutes or whatever he played, just don't shoot the ball. Get out there and do your dirty work stuff and get off the court. You're not allowed to shoot. I'm sorry.
Well, at some point, he was just another symptom of a bad night.
Ugh, a really bad night. All right. We'll be back. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a closure at 35 northbound Somerset to Palo Alto. Shut down with an 18-wheeler accident. Traffic is stopped from Fisher Road. Off-ramp blocked as well. Looks like there's damage to the bridge. So this could be closed for a while. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line, 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
During Dell Technologies Cyber Monday event, save on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Shop Dell.com/deals.
Shop Black Friday deals now at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And get 2 free select tools with purchase of a select combo kit or battery kit from brands like Cobalt, Craftsman, and DeWalt. Hurry and shop these savings only for a limited time because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/28 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
This report is sponsored by Don't Mess with Texas and the Texas Department of Transportation. As you travel on Texas highways this holiday season, remember that Don't Mess with Texas means don't litter. So stay off Santa's naughty list and deck the halls, not our roadways. Don't Mess with Texas. A message brought to you by TxDOT.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at HEB today.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single-line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Hard to believe that Christmas is only a couple of weeks away, right? But there's still plenty of time to find incredible gift deals because Macy's Friends and Family Sale is happening now. What does that mean? It means when you use your coupon or Macy's card, you can take an extra 30% off, just like Friends and Family can. That's 30% off the best holiday gifts, 30% off the best designer brands, 30% off what's trending right now. It's just this week, it's just what you were looking for, and it's only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Want to win the holidays? Ulta Beauty has the hottest beauty gifts your family and friends actually want. I'm talking beauty gifts they'll be obsessed with, like wow-worthy exclusives from Tarte, Charlotte Tilbury, and Clinique that everyone will rave about, and luxurious fragrances from YSL, Valentino, and Ariana Grande. Of course, when in doubt, you can never go wrong with a gift card. Super thoughtful, yet super easy. Visit Ulta Beauty today to get all the best gifts for everyone on your list.
Calling all of Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. It's time to gear up with the ultimate Dallas Cowboys apparel. Whether you're heading to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. From hoodies to hats, jerseys to jackets. Find all your Cowboys essentials at any of our 4 San Antonio locations. River Center, Ingram Mall, North Star Mall, and Huebner Oaks Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear and rep the star loud and proud.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED. And it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
The wait is almost over for the most wanted Target holiday deal. Get 10% off Target gift cards with Target Circle this Saturday and Sunday only. From your teenage nephew to your kids' teachers and coaches, Target gift cards bring joy to everyone on your list. Join Target Circle for free now and you'll get the deal automatically. Shop December 7th and 8th for 10% off Target gift cards with Target Circle and save more on gifts. Happier holidays from Target. Restrictions apply.
Want to win the holidays? Ulta Beauty has the hottest beauty gifts your family and friends actually want. I'm talking beauty gifts they'll be obsessed with. Like wow-worthy exclusives from Tarte, Charlotte Tilbury, and Clinique that everyone will rave about. And luxurious fragrances from YSL, Valentino, and Ariana Grande. Of course, when in doubt, you can never go wrong with a gift card. Super thoughtful, yet super easy. Visit Ulta Beauty today to get all the best gifts for everyone on your list.
How do you spot the all-new Nissan Rogue Rock Creek? Here's a hint. It's got all-terrain tires, a tubular roof rack you can't miss, and it's tough inside and out with lava red detailing. You'll also find it in its natural habitat, climbing mountains, attacking rugged trails, and never backing down from any adventure. The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Always secure cargo. Heavy loading of the vehicle with cargo, especially on the roof, will affect the handling and stability of the vehicle.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. For a limited time, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out the new Kubota L2502 package deal, including a 4-wheel drive tractor with hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. From the Ewald family to yours, Merry Christmas.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. A couple people defending Zach Collins. Most people.
It's not about defending. It's about understanding exactly who he is and expect nothing more than that.
He's just he sucks. So as long as you expect that, it's all good. If you're not expecting anything more than someone who sucks, you won't be disappointed.
Suck. He's a star in his role most of the time, and sometimes he and Will Levis.
You're like, yeah, you're right.
You know, I'm not trying to defend the cat, but when you go 0 for 7 on the 6th shot, it's because you're still a threat. You have to take it, even if you don't think you're going to make it. You got to take it. They're leaving you open. You got to take the damn shot.
All right. Yeah, that's, to me, the law of probabilities.
You know what? You always put me in these positions where I have to defend the indefensible.
Where you do these crazy things. Like, you can't just say, you know what, AJ, you're right. He does suck.
Because he doesn't suck. He's Zach.
Like Will Levis. I was like, dude, he sucks. And you're like, no, he doesn't. And then he keeps doing things that say, like, all the evidence suggests he sucks.
He won a football game last week.
Yeah, sometimes guys do. Even Aaron Rodgers has won some football games this year. He still sucks.
He's got as many wins as Aaron.
Yeah.
As a Hall of Famer, equal to a Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Zach Collins, he made as many shots as, I don't know, name another suck guy. Okay, all right.
All right, he sucks.
Yeah, all right.
It's all right. I know there's one of those, like, he's our guy. And,
yeah,
you know, but
I can make fun of him. No, he is what he is. And last night we got a whole lot of it.
Yes. And again, if you're on the floor 15 minutes in the game, I don't need you to shoot 7 times.
In 15 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's every other. But again, they were leaving him open. He was the guy.
That's why.
Well, I mean,
Rob, you coached.
I know. Be a threat.
If somebody,
everything. I wouldn't have been mad at anything he did last night. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have been overjoyed. He didn't do anything overly stupid. He took the appropriate shots. Make the damn shot. You're a pro. Yes, make your damn shots.
Well, and it wasn't just threes for him. He missed bunnies.
No, it was all bunnies. Yeah, that's his job. No, he did miss a 3. He did. He did.
I'm saying, but
you're right.
He missed more than just threes.
That's where I get mad at him. Dude, don't do that. Even if they give you that one, don't do that. But if you're 15 feet out and you're the guy that the double team leaves to go get Wemby, you've got to take that shot. At some point, you got to do it to help your other guys out. And you can't control that. Some nights it's there, and most nights it's not for Zach. That's the problem. That's why he's going to be a backup for his entire career.
It don't be working out.
Sometimes it don't be working out.
It don't be. It just don't be at all. And last night was just a symptom of a larger issue.
Don't be working out. It's not the end of the world for the Spurs. They're 11-10. You know, like I said, if they're hovering around 500 all year, I think this is a big growth year for them. They play again on Thursday. No. Thursday. It's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's the first. They have a Thursday, Friday back-to-back. Am I wrong there? Thursday, Friday, Sunday. So they play Bulls, Sacramento, Thursday, Friday at home. Sunday, they're at home against New Orleans. And then they're off until Friday. The 13th. So from Sunday, they don't play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Wow.
In-season tournament games.
Yeah, that's where the quarterfinals will be.
That's why they have a mini bye.
So is the whole league kind of on a break next week?
Except for those teams.
Well, just in time for some good college football, I guess.
And then they'll be in Portland for that.
I didn't realize that was part of this deal where you got a little early spring break.
Yeah, 4 days off.
That's huge.
That is big. 4 days off in the middle of the season? Hell yeah.
I didn't realize that was part of it. No wonder the players are all in for this.
Or why some of the players are like, maybe it's not best if we win this in-season tournament. Maybe it's best we just get that 4 days off.
I'm not going to put it past them.
Not the end of the world.
A week in Cabo or sitting on the bench in Vegas?
All right. I guess it's time for us to get into some college football. You mentioned it, Rob. I guess we can dip our toes in the water. Lot happened yesterday. We'll discuss that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding to work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Did you wake up this morning feeling good about yourself? Did you look in the mirror and say, this is exactly the person I want to look like? If that's you, carry on about your day. But if you're like the rest of us, you probably woke up not feeling so good. Maybe you didn't get a lot of sleep, look in the mirror, and you don't really like the way you look. And you're going to head out through the day chasing a little bit of caffeine and some more calories just to get through the day and fight off the brain fog. You know, being overweight is manifested in so many different ways. You don't sleep well. The joints, your knees and ankles always hurt. You're not always thinking clearly because you didn't get all that sleep. You're probably snoring louder than a bear, and you're looking at that fat side of the closet. If that's you, I want you to consider where you can be in just a couple of weeks. You know, I met Dr. Jacob Torres at the Institute for Functional Health about 8 years ago, and I have been a patient of his ever since. Now, I'm down about 70 pounds over that time, and I continue to work with Dr. Torres because he literally changed my life. And it wasn't about a short-term fix for a long-term problem. It was about literally changing the way I ate, my attitudes about food, and how I went about my daily day. If it's time for you to change your life, if you've tried other diets, if you don't like the way you look and you're excited about 2025, I want you to call Dr. Torres today. He can put you on a program that you can live with for a long time. I am living proof that you can change your life and still enjoy a good meal. But there's ways to go about it that are healthy and long-term. I want you to call him today. The number's 210-468-1891. 210-468-1891. His website is iffhealth.com, a great resource. Go there. Take the functional health test. I promise you it will open your eyes. Call him today. Change your life. And when you do, come on by and thank me later.
This report is sponsored by PayPal.
This season, the PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app. And with the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price to have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Airrosti. At Airrosti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Airrosti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Airrosti, we fix pain fast.
Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas, open to the public 7 days a week with a country club feel. It's football season, so book your tee times early at golfclubtexas.com and stick around and watch the games. Make Golf Club of Texas your football headquarters where you can watch every game. They'll even stay open until the end of every NFL game, including Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights. Get into the Tin Cup Bar at the Golf Club of Texas, Highway 90 at Briggs Ranch Road. Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Shop Black Friday deals now at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And get 2 free select tools with purchase of a select combo kit or battery kit from brands like Cobalt, Craftsman, and DeWalt. Hurry and shop these savings only for a limited time because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/28 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on SingleCare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to SingleCare.com or download the free app today.
Shop Dell Technologies Cyber Monday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Cyber Monday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Your commute definitely filling in. 410 eastbound San Pedro. This records 2 left lanes blocked. 15, 17-minute delay slow from Vance Jackson. I-10 westbound at Hildebrand. That wreck is in the left lane. On 281 northbound, the on-ramp from St. Mary's, we've got a minor wreck, so the on-ramp is blocked. 35 northbound, 1604 to Olympia Parkway. That's some overnight road work. Still set up. Roadway reduced to 1 lane. It's a 50-minute commute. Slow from Weedner. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time saver traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs were knocked out of Emirates Cup contention 104-93 by the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker had 29 points in the winning effort. Victor Wembanyama was named Defensive Player of the Month, leading the league with 3.6 blocks a game. The latest college football playoff poll is out, with Oregon holding number 1, Texas holding 2, SMU and Boise State rounding out the top 4. Surprisingly, Alabama in, Miami out. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I was telling Rob, my Caesars host reached out and said, hey, if you happen to be in town first week of January, we'd like to treat you at Nobu and give you tickets to the Golden Knights game. Oh!
If you like that kind of thing.
It just so happens I will be in town that week, and I do love Nobu and the Golden Knights.
And I like free Nobu even better.
In
fact, I don't think I've actually, and this is not bragging but I don't think I've ever paid for a meal at Nobu. Not that I could.
You're a lucky man.
Well, I mean, I don't know how I would. I mean, that's the kind of restaurant that normally goes on a corporate account or a friend.
Yeah. I don't remember the last time I did pay for a meal at Nobu,
Right.
luckily, but there's been times where I did, and it's
Well, I mean, I don't have ready access, so there's been 2 Nobus that I've been to in my life.
okay.
I guess there might be only 2 in the world, but
No, there's a handful.
There's a few?
There's 2 in Vegas.
I've been to one in Caesars and the one over in Malibu.
There's one in Houston.
Oh, is there? I didn't know.
Yep, and there's one in New York, New York. There's one in New York, actual New York City.
Okay, well, I haven't been to those. Maybe somebody will buy me a meal there too.
Someone will one day.
I like the small plates they do.
Oh yes,
That's Wolfgang Puck, right?
No,
that's not. He didn't do
No.
Nobu. I thought that was his.
Nobu. It's his restaurant. I forget his first name, but the chef's name is Nobu, like
really?
the original chef. Yeah, I went once with my in-laws and didn't realize I was footing the whole bill, but did foot the whole bill.
It's one of those things you got to clarify.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Glad you have an Amex.
And I told my wife, well, we'll just write it off as, hey, good. It's our good guy move. Good guy move. Every once in a while, you make a good guy move.
Go enjoy a hockey game.
Ah, yes, that'll be a fun time. Rin says there is a Nobu in Miami as well. So I think there's like 7 or 8 in the country. So, yeah, fantastic.
And anybody wants to buy me a meal at any of those?
Yeah,
I'm willing to go.
Jerry might buy you one next year.
Well, I hear he's in London.
If we could, we're gonna get into that too. College football though first. Rob, I've got bad news.
What's that?
I've got really bad news for you. Your quarterback has entered the transfer portal.
He's already
or at
gone.
least has announced he's entering the transfer portal. Connor Weigman, at one point, the number 2 quarterback in his class.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't breaking.
Yeah,
it happened yesterday.
Kind of slipped out yesterday,
but he is gone.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm not going to be back at Texas A&M next year.
Going to make Georgia Tech a fine quarterback.
So, yeah, he is going to end up at some other Power 4 program because there's too much he hasn't proven inept enough yet to fall to a Florida Atlantic or someplace like that.
And I don't think he's, an Ungalalele inept kind of quarterback. I just think it's a bad situation that his previous coach ruined him. I think Jimbo Fisher ruined him mentally from the neck up. Jimbo battered and beat him. And then not only that, then the Bobby Petrino effect last year. All that went into a quarterback that it just wasn't going to work. The environment had soured. I think he's going to be fine someplace else. It's too bad it didn't work out.
Yeah. I don't know that he will. Like you said, he's not going to be DJ, which I don't think he will be either. But I don't know that he'll ever live up to being.
Well, no, he's not going to land someplace and be thought of as a savior, where Ungalalele was. They thought he was going to be the guy that was going to help them take that 15-1 record and prove to the world that they were overlooked, and that just wasn't him. He's going to land at a program like the former transfer Haynes King at a place like Georgia Tech, where expectations are going to be realistic. He's going to get put in a situation that he will be able to choose. He's going to land with an offensive coordinator that he gets to choose, and he'll have a good opportunity. It's too bad it didn't work out. I think for everybody involved, this was an abject failure, a colossal collapse on everybody's part.
Connor Weigman at one point was talked about like a first-round pick.
And there were games where he looked like it. He's got the arm. He's got the athleticism. There's just other issues, and A&M played a huge role in those issues, though he does have some things he has to look at in the mirror for as well.
Mike Elko, this was the quote Mike Elko had after he benched him in the LSU game, which, and you know what, when I read of this and when I think about him being benched in the LSU game and them saying, you know what, we're going to throw a curveball at LSU and it worked. Mm-hmm. The fact that they didn't go to Weigman in the Texas game is almost an indictment on Elko.
Well,
because you knew at that point Reed wasn't going to work.
But remember,
throw a curveball.
You're right. You're right. If he is willing to go and play. And I remember when he was pulled, and there was a moment when Marcel was kind of stuttering. And you looked over on the bench, and you saw Connor Weigman, who was nothing more than a guy in a jersey. He was not part of that game. He was sitting on the bench, had a towel on his head. He was done. He was done the moment he was pulled. So you're right. It would have been nice to be able to bring this kid back. I don't think he was part of the program from the moment he got yanked. He was out, and they had no recourse. There was nobody else to go to.
Elko said that Weigman was sped up in going through his progressions, not seeing the field as well as he had before, which led to poor decisions and inaccurate throws. He said his clock starts moving faster when he's not having success. His eyes are going through the progressions a little too quick. He's getting the ball out of his hand a little too quick. I think we saw that a couple of throws, or he rushes his mechanics a little bit and the ball sails on him.
That's him. That more than anything else, it's his footwork. More than anything else, he gets happy feet. He's been beaten up. Keep in mind, 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. He has been beaten and battered with bad offensive lines. It just mentally, it's no longer there. And then he lost trust in his coach, and his coach lost trust in him, and the relationship was done. And there was no way you could go back to him, because I guarantee you Elko would have loved to have been able to provide at least a threat of a downfield throw at some point over the last month.
Now, despite, I mean, this the dude was 4-1 this season as a starter. Like, he was winning games at least. So I think that, like you said, there's still somebody who's going to give this guy a solid chance. And obviously he's going to try and get to the next level, which I'm sure he will.
He's got the arm to do it. Nobody's going to question his skill at delivering the ball from A to B. It's the little things that are going to have to get fixed.
Does it concern you? And maybe this is part of the coach leaving, but I don't know. This was, if you remember, that 2022 class was the number 1 class in the country for A&M.
Best money can buy.
30 kids, 15 of them are now gone with Connor Weigman. Is that alarming to you, or is that
we saw it happen
the price
immediately.
of doing business
well,
now?
I don't think you have to judge us or any school against the rest of the country. Everybody's got turnover now. Everybody. Yeah. Even Texas is going to lose 5 guys this year. They are, because they go to play. They want to play. Doesn't matter about money. They want to go play and make some money too. So that every school loses them, but this was a unique situation that money was thrown around to guys that didn't want to be where they were other than the paycheck. And they were treated with kid gloves because they were afraid the moment they got mad, they were going to leave. And the moment that their coach was gone and the money wasn't quite right, everybody ran, which was actually a good thing. It was the negative junction boys idea. Everybody who doesn't want to be here, go. And you know what? Aggies survived that exodus. They had a 8-5. I mean, they are going to be a winning football team after the biggest exodus that we've ever seen. More talent drained out of College Station than any school has ever lost in 1 year. Ever. And they survived. But now I think that trend is over. But you are a different player. If you come to play for Jimbo, you're a very different player that's coming to play for Elko.
Sure.
Different dudes. So, yeah, there's going to be turnover. And I think that's by design and necessary.
Today is National Signing Day for those who are unaware, which I was unaware until I started prepping for the show this morning. As of today, like going into today, there are 18 prospects in the ESPN 300 that are uncommitted still.
Wow. And it might not even happen today. It could be February or maybe not all the way into May.
ESPN has 25-star prospects. Only 2 of them are uncommitted coming into the day. And all but 10 of the top 100 in the ESPN 300 have committed. So, and the top 10 classes right now, at least with ESPN, Ohio State 1, Georgia 2, Bama 3, Auburn 4, Texas 5, Oregon 6, LSU 7, Tennessee 8, Miami 9, Michigan 10. And there's been some much talked about quarterback shifting. The Underwood kid that went from Colorado, or went from USC to Colorado, and then Underwood's the one who went from LSU to Michigan, right. And what's the kid's Lewis went from USC to Colorado. The guy that was had been committed to USC since he was like 16 or whatever. He committed to Colorado. 7 ESPN 300 quarterbacks switched their commitments after October 1st. Deuce Knight went to Auburn. USC went to USC got Husan Longstreet, and an 8th guy, Brady Hart. Are you familiar with Brady Hart?
The Florida kid that flipped from Michigan to A&M.
He is he's reclassed into the 2025 cycle. 16 years old.
He's going to be on campus in January.
Yeah.
There's a 16-year-old kid in Alabama we couldn't start talking about just a couple weeks ago. It's amazing to come out that early. He's going to redshirt.
You have to. Imagine a 16-year-old kid out there playing against Alabama.
Well, there's 16 is a little bit different than our 16.
That's true. No.
And this guy's playing for a state championship in Florida. He's playing at the highest level, doing good things. So yeah, he's a kid. It'll be a minute, but he was the kind of the last flip in that quarterback ring around the rosy kind of thing. The last guy sitting. So everybody flipped as the dollar values began to double and the alumni started to panic.
It says here that Texas A&M, one of the schools with the most to gain or lose today.
Lots of flips. They flipped a kid yesterday
from Missouri.
Yeah. So, this is a process.
It says Aggies incoming class anchored by 4-star offensive tackle Lamont Rogers, 9 ESPN top 300 defenders, including the number 55 overall and number 131 overall, who are corners Adonis Curry and Dejon Petaway. The number 64 overall is an outside linebacker named Noah McHale, and the number 110 overall is a defensive tackle named DJ Sanders. After losing Longstreet to USC, they got Hart, who was the fallout of the LSU kid flipping to Michigan.
Everybody just kind of
the dominoes all
over.
fall. Mm-hmm. But it does say the two big targets for A&M today, 5-star Oklahoma offensive tackle. He's currently committed to Oklahoma, but A&M's trying to flip him, a guy named Michael Fasusi, and a 4-star wide receiver named Jerome Miles. Both of them were on campus for the Texas A&M game. Fasusi visited Texas in week 13, and apparently he's in a big battle between Texas A&M, and Oklahoma.
That's a guy with I'm not sure I trust. You look at those three. I mean.
But it says, meanwhile, the Aggies appear to be in good situation with Jerome Miles, who decommitted from USC one day after his trip to Texas A&M, and that probably has something to do with they're saying has something to do with the quarterback, because there was worry that they had lost Longstreet,
and the other
now it's like who's going to be quarterback. But this Hart kid is enough that he likes what he sees.
Yeah, that little running back they flipped from Missouri looks interesting. I mean, the Aggies have a penchant for, they've always got a guy that's about 5'10", runs about a 4.2 40, drops the ball and normally an issue off the field. With those kind of volatile kids, he might be the next one.
Give me a Jaworski Lane. That's what I like.
Don't you wish there's a bunch of Aggies wish they had a Jaworski Lane when it was 4th and 1
right.
on the missing bowling ball? I love this time of year. But, the more I've hung around college coaches and the more I see, 4 and 5 stars, I've stopped really paying attention to that, because so many 4 stars turn to 5 and 3 turn to 4 after they sign with somebody. It really, to me, it's all about the coaches getting the exact right guy. And whether that's a 3-star or a 5-star, it doesn't matter as long as he's the right guy in the right place.
And it says Flip Watch, maybe the most interesting ones here. The Zalis Hicks, who is the number 72 overall, a safety, who is a Texas commit. He was the number 1 safety in the 26 class, reclassified to 2025. Says he's still strong on the Longhorns, but getting pushed from Colorado and Florida, 2 programs that have been extremely active in recent weeks. And then two high-end quarterbacks. One, Bryce Baker, who is a North Carolina commit.
But they lost Mac.
They lose Mac Brown, and apparently he's got a real close relationship with Chip Lindsey, who's the OC there. They don't know. He's unsure based on what their future looks like if he's going to be at North Carolina. And a fella here who I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing his name, Jaron Kiwe Sagapalutile.
Works for me.
He's a Hawaiian kid who is a Cal commit, but has now picked up offers from Oregon and Georgia. And,
that's a pretty desperate jump. He must have had a pretty good senior season.
I think that's
from Cal to
I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. It's like, oh, maybe I'm better than although a lot of kids go to like places like Cal and Stanford because they're, booger eater smart kids. The
difference between Cal and Georgia as far as booger eating smart kids.
Oh, it's massive.
Yeah. He's now the number one in his class if he's landing in Georgia.
Or Oregon, which it says Oregon's the most likely. And Oregon has a long history of Hawaiian kids who have had a lot of success. So, all right. When we come back, we'll take a look at the penultimate college football playoff rankings and a couple salty Sallies out there.
You wonder why they do this to themselves. Why don't you just give us the list when you're done? Why do you put yourself out for the beating you're going to take for next week?
We like the drama. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
I suppose I...
it's my turn.
I was like, I think we owe somebody something.
Oh! It's SA Card House. I got to tell you guys about SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house, located there at 281 and Bitters. I'm going to be on the tables tomorrow. I can tell you that. They get first prize. I was right. It was over $11,000 last week. They ended up having a 4-way split for the top prize, but tons of money out there on the tables. And guys, they've got tournaments going on every single day. That's just the way they do it. I know today, usually on Wednesdays, they have a noon, the early bird tournament. $1,000 guarantee. Just show, and who's showing up at noon on a Wednesday? Just a bunch of old people. Go take those old people's money. That's what I like to do. But guys, there's evening tournaments, daytime tournaments. They've got them going on all the time. There's cash games going on 24/7, literally 24/7. Great place to have yourself a meal. Great place to pass some time. Great place to have yourself a drink. Foster's Bar and Grill. We're talking about like 5-star chef quality food, just fantastic food, great cocktail menu, and like I said, the people there playing poker, it's a good place to play. It's a good environment. Having played in Vegas for all those years, dirty rooms, scummy people, it just feels good to be in a clean place. Good people playing cards, man. It really is a great place to go play. So stop by. You don't even have to be a member there to eat. So if you just want to check it out, go in, have yourself a meal. But I promise you, if you're a poker player, you're going to have yourself a good time right there at SA Card House. Follow them on the socials, SA Card House. See the tournament schedule and all those types of things. And I will see you out on the tables. Guys, Carbach has something for everybody. If you like an IPA, try the Hopadillo. If you're looking for something light, crisp, refreshing, go with the Love Street Blonde. They've got Ziegenbach as well. There's something for everybody's palate, and it's available all over San Antonio. Next time you're in a bar or restaurant, ask them for a Carbach.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind. From expert-created lessons to conversational video units and even live classes, you can personalize your Babbel experience to be exactly what you need to really learn a new language more easily. Go ahead, set a goal for yourself. Accomplish it with Babbel. Try Babbel for free. Go to BABBEL.com. That's Babbel.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran-owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5600. 5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
Calling all of Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. It's time to gear up with the ultimate Dallas Cowboys apparel. Whether you're heading to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. From hoodies to hats, jerseys to jackets. Find all your Cowboys essentials at any of our 4 San Antonio locations. River Center, Ingram Mall, North Star Mall, and Huebner Oaks Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear and rep the star loud and proud.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 12/28, in-store only.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
College football playoffs. Bad news if you're a Miami Hurricanes fan. We tried to warn you. We tried to warn you, Hurricane fan. The committee has basically told Miami without telling them, you ain't got a shot.
Yeah, you're done. Don't lose to Syracuse in December.
But Syracuse is ranked. Well, Syracuse is ranked now that they beat you. They're 9-3. Syracuse sucks.
Yes, they suck.
Syracuse lost to Stanford.
Yeah,
that's all you need to know about Syracuse. The problem for Miami is Miami, at the end of the day, is trying to hang their hat and say, we deserve to be there because we lost to a ranked Syracuse team. We lost to Georgia Tech, who almost beat Georgia. And we beat the hell out of an SEC team in Florida week 1 when Graham Mertz was their starter, who finished 7-5. And they're like, but they finished 7-5, but guess what? They beat Ole Miss. How about that? We're going to talk about that. They beat LSU. We beat them though. They beat A&M. We beat that team. Beat them bad. Yeah, different team, man. Florida was a different team by the end of the year. And kudos to Florida for getting where they got. They had the toughest schedule in the country.
And they fought back. They're a far different team than I thought they were going to turn out to be.
But I'm sorry, Miami. Like, at the end of the day, you can look through that schedule, and if your best win is 7-5 Florida, I can't feel bad for you. You're 10-2. Your best win is Florida or Louisville. I don't know what they consider their best win, but maybe Duke. But none of those are like, ooh, let's write home about this. I'm sorry. You're not good enough. And this is what, and I'm glad actually. I'm glad that the committee is saying we are going to reward a 3-loss SEC team before a 2-loss ACC team that didn't do something special in the non-conference.
But they did kind of change their minds.
How?
I mean,
not all conferences are created equal. They're just not.
But they have gone and said, up until now, they told us, you got to win games.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who you beat. You just got to win your game.
No, it matters.
And then now they're going, well, you got a better record than Bama, but who did you really play? When up until now, they're like, just win your games.
Then why isn't Army in? Army's 10-1.
Exactly. And they got up. They were never going to be.
Why not?
Well,
they're
not
winning
in
their
a
games.
power conference, but that's
like you said. Not all conferences are created equal.
But I think the ACC and Miami feel like we are equal.
You're not.
But that's the Cole's gray light of dawn that they're running into today, that you're not equal.
In big letters, you are not equal.
But they believed up until last night at 6 p.m. Eastern time that they were. And they had been led to believe they were through this year.
Who told them that?
The rankings, the record, they were there. They've been there through losses. They were still there. And then finally, they still have a better record than Bama. They're like, well, wait a minute. You're off. Your non-conference schedule wasn't good enough. You didn't play good enough teams, and the only games you lost were in conference. And I can see why Miami's mad, though. They don't belong there. They don't. They are the odd man out for a good reason.
The rankings told them that because until last week they were 10-1. And then you lose another game.
Don't lose to Syracuse on the road.
Or Georgia Tech. Like, you win one of those games,
and
you're in.
Exactly. So I can see where Miami's like, well, you told us this, and we acted as if, and then you changed the rules. Don't lose to Syracuse.
Yeah,
don't
it's
lose
as simple
to a
as
bad
that.
team, and you don't have this argument. You're in.
And if you were, and had you won one of those two games, you pick one.
But of all the teams, it's Bama? Of all of them? The one thing that we thought, well, if all things work out, if we're going to truly exercise the parity that we've tried to build in with new conferences and new money, and Bama's the team that's in, you're kind of like, oh, God.
But, I mean, are we shocked by that?
Well, the only argument, and I'm kind of in the middle here, this is all about setting precedent. This is the first time we're doing this. And once you do it the first time, new rules apply. So now we've already opened the door to a 3-loss team getting in over a 2-loss team. We've already opened the door, and it's just going to lead to more problems. If you're going to practice the slippery slope, if you're going to be the guy that's been paid to, what's the worst possible outcome of this decision? Let's go through the permutations of, if we do that, then this will happen, the if-then statement. And if we do this, what will happen then? If you work your way down to where now we're letting teams with worse records in over other teams, the end of this argument will be an expansion of this pool. That's at the end of the day, we've already opened the door to letting more people in by our very first poll.
BYU is 10-2. Miami's 10-2. I don't hear anybody crying boo-hoo for BYU. And you know who BYU beat in the non-conference? SMU.
No, you're right. There's a bunch of 10-2
They
teams.
gave SMU their only loss at SMU. That's the only loss SMU has this year. BYU went to their house and beat them. And there's not one person going, why isn't BYU in the top 12?
Well, if they win and don't get in, there will be.
They're not. They don't get. They're not even in their conference title game. They're not in.
They don't get in.
No. Just like Miami, you're not in your conference title game because you lost to Syracuse. Sorry. If you would beat Syracuse, you'd be playing SMU right now, and you'd have a chance to lock yourself in. And quite frankly, if Miami was 11-1 playing 11-1 SMU, I think all they'd be playing for is who gets the first round bye.
Yeah, they'd both be in.
They'd both be in. But you lost a game you can't lose. In fact, you lost 2 games you can't lose. I can't feel bad for you, man. Just like I don't feel bad for BYU because they lost to Kansas and Arizona State. You lose those games, I don't feel bad for you. Sorry. Going through an SEC schedule is so much more difficult. We cannot pretend that the SEC and the Big Ten, just because they're called Power 4, that the SEC and the Big Ten are equal to the ACC and Big 12.
You're making the argument that we're playing a tournament with the 12 best teams.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're saying, well, you're 8-3, and you're a better team, even though you don't have the same record as a 10-2 team.
No, because if we were playing with the best 12 teams, there probably wouldn't be a Big 12 team in at all. There might not be an ACC team in at all.
But this is not about the best teams.
So it's not. That's why the Big 12 will have representation. The ACC will have representation. But you're not getting more than your conference warrants you getting, because then we're talking about treating this like it's like everything is equal, and it's not all equal. Playing in the Big 10 and playing in the SEC is
but that was not the intent. Well, the intent was we are going to have the entire country represented.
And you do.
Greatness does not matter. If you have 3 losses and you're the greatest team we've ever seen, you don't get to go. You are a participant. You don't earn your way in. You didn't earn your way in. And when you let the very first time out, the very first opportunity, you could say, win your games. That's all that matters. Because we are doing this not to find the 12 best teams. We want 8 representatives and 4 wild cards. We don't want the best teams out there, or there would be nobody from the Big 12, nobody from the ACC. It'd be 2 conferences going at it.
I think that the difference is when it comes to 3-loss teams getting in, I knew eventually 3-loss teams would get in.
Eventually. But there should be so hard for it to happen. It shouldn't happen the first time out of the gate.
But here's the deal. I'm never going to feel sorry for a 3-loss team that gets left out. But I do believe there's almost every year there will be a 3-loss Big 10 or SEC team that is better than.
But the team that got in just lost to Oklahoma in the worst way possible.
Well, no.
You could argue
they lost 2 weeks ago.
Well, I'm just saying.
Since then, they've won
lost.
another game.
But it was still fresh in my mind. And it is as bad a loss as Miami and in Syracuse. I mean,
but you know what they've got? They've got a win over Georgia in their pocket.
But are we going over some total of work, or are we going over how well you're playing right now? I mean, there's so many things you go, well, wait a minute.
Well, I think you're going over some total of work. And I think, to me, before Miami can argue, I would argue for 3-loss South Carolina over Miami.
Well, you would if we were going, who are the best teams?
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
No, you can. After you get everybody into their assigned seats, then I want the best teams after that. That's what I want.
But it's not set up to do that. You get 2 chances for the best teams. I mean, that's it. That's it. You get 2 chances, and that's 11 and 12. Because the number 1 team might be coming from a conference undefeated. We don't know.
Well, that's what this is going to be. Alabama's going to be the number 11 team.
As we sit, the Big 12 champ's going to get in. Won't knock Alabama out, but they're going to knock out a team that with a better
12.
record.
They'll be the number 12. And that's what I said. Everybody's going to get their assigned seats. The 5 conference winners are going to get in.
You can't argue to me that a team that lost to OU 2 weeks ago is among the top 12 teams. I don't care who you beat 3 months ago.
Name a team who's left out that's better.
Name 3 that I could say, well, look at what South Carolina did over the last month.
Alabama beat South Carolina head-to-head.
How long ago? That doesn't seem to matter now.
It's if 2 teams who play in the same conference have 3 losses,
it's such a at this point
it has to matter.
We're splitting hairs.
No,
I just think
head-to-head isn't splitting hairs.
You have opened the door to at the end of the day in 2 years we're going to go. Well, this 8-3 team, this 8-3 team, this 8-3 team. We're going to have to go to 16 teams.
I don't need that.
Well,
I'd rather.
What we've done.
If anything, we need less teams. This proves we need less teams.
Well, either subtract 4 or add 4. I mean, but that's kind of what we've done because right now, if I'm BYU and I'm Miami, you go, this is a farce. This is an absolute farce because what you told me I had to do, I did. Get a better record than Bama, and that'll get you in. That's all you need.
And you know what? Let them cry. Let BYU and Miami cry because you are in inferior conferences.
They are. And
the Big 12 and ACC are closer to the Mountain West and the American Conference than they are to the Big 10 and SEC. And the top conferences deserve more representation.
But it's entirely possible that the ACC could land 2, and by the numbers, neither would be in. Maybe SMU would end up, if we were truly going dollar for dollar, pound for pound, who is great, SMU lands about 14, I think, in the land. Yeah. They're not even in. But now it's possible for 2 of them to get in because that's what we want. We want representation, not greatness.
I want, if we're saying the 5 best conference champions, the 5 highest ranked conference champions, I accept that. Now all these conferences around the country are going to be represented. beyond those 5 spots, I want the best teams.
Go schedule big games and win them.
Exactly. And don't lose to Georgia Tech.
Or Syracuse.
Sorry. You just can't do it.
Especially in December. They're going to tell you it doesn't matter, but it does.
It does. And Alabama's loss to Oklahoma should matter. But you know what? Alabama beating Georgia and winning at LSU and beating South Carolina, that's better than anything Miami's done all year long. And you have to reward that.
I wonder if there's any other school that if you just pasted their record against the Alabama record that wouldn't have gotten in. Is there a team, if it was, let's say it was A&M, that had beaten Georgia but was 8-3 and just came off an embarrassing, humiliating loss to OU. You think A&M's in? No, they're not.
If they beat Alabama head-to-head, I think they would. I really think if South Carolina
put A&M's name, if you put South Carolina, same record, Bama, they're not in.
I think if South Carolina had the head-to-head win over Bama, they would be in over Bama.
Well, I'm just saying, if the same record, it was, we just put South Carolina sticker over Bama. They did the same things, name the rival, and they had an embarrassing loss, but a couple of good wins. They're not in. Bama got in because they're Bama. And I think everybody knows it. Bama got in.
Like I said, you show me a team that's being left out that you think is better than Alabama.
Again, under the rules as they were explained to me, Bama shouldn't be in. But that doesn't matter because they are that good.
The rules were explained to you wrong then.
Well, no, it was. We want representation.
And
and the Big 12 is going to be a team in, and we know that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
We know that.
But that doesn't mean that your conference gets more than one.
No, you're right. But they're precluding one team that would be better is what I'm saying. No matter what, this is not about the best team in football and a tournament amongst the best.
But once your crummy conferences have their representation, the rest of this thing is being filled out with the best teams. And if you say after these 5 teams are in, who are the best teams, you're not going to get past 7 before you get to Alabama. You're just not.
But that's not how this was put together.
That's exactly how it's put
BYU's
together.
going, wait a minute.
Sorry, you play in a crummy conference, BYU.
But you told me that conferences don't matter anymore.
No, they absolutely matter. And again, you're under the false pretenses that the ACC and Big 12 are under.
Miami was operating under the press of, I'm in the ACC, I win 10 games, I should be in no matter what happens.
If you're in the ACC and the Big or the Big 12 and you think we are a power conference.
That's what I was told.
I got news. You are not.
That's what they found out
There
last
are
night.
2 power conferences, and then there's everybody else.
They were told it doesn't matter. We're going to weight it toward the ACC. It doesn't matter. ACC, SEC, Big Ten, it doesn't matter. And they played that way. And then last night they found out, wait a minute. There's some conferences a little bit more equal than others.
There is a power 2, and then there's a bunch of other conferences. And you know what? I'm okay with that because now what everybody wanted, we want representation. You got it. But I'm still rewarding the two conferences that play the powerful schedules.
And the argument
you have to.
And the argument that will follow this is they got in last year. Why am I not in this year? And we're going to have to expand it. We're going to get to the point where, all right, and we're going to have to go 16 because every year there's going to be 5, 8, and 3 teams.
And
5 or 6.
Darius says, LOL, crummy conferences. Winless in conference, Oak State beat Arkansas. Arkansas's garbage. Like, who's the good win for the Big 12 over an SEC program? Like I said, Miami's like, oh, we beat Florida. You beat 7-5 Florida with Graham Mertz at quarterback. Let's be real, man. The top end of the SEC and the top end of the Big Ten are worlds apart from the rest of college football. They just are.
But we can't act like that.
Yes, you can.
Well, if you act like that, then the billion-dollar balloon that we have blown up does not exist.
And I don't care if it was Alabama, Ole Miss, or South Carolina. The only reason I say Alabama over South Carolina is because they played on the field and Alabama won.
And it should be the final tiebreaker.
That should if you've got 2 3-loss teams from the same conference, 2 2-loss teams from the same conference, and they played head-to-head, that is what it is. But there is no world where I'm going to say Miami or BYU or some crappy 2-loss team is better than one of these 3-loss SEC teams. They're just not.
All right. You're right, but again, that's not the way this was set up to be.
Well, that's the way it has to be.
That's how it turned out.
And Mike says the disrespect this guy's giving Arizona State. Arizona State sucks, bro. I mean, they suck.
Scataboo, baby.
And you will see that come playoff time. You will see that they suck. All right, we'll be back. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The idea of spending your day not in pain is so foreign to a lot of people. I have a friend who every day complains about it and carries Tylenol around about a shoulder issue. If you're living in pain, you know there's a way out. It's called Airrosti. Airrosti providers are all around San Antonio with one specific goal in mind, and that's to get you out of pain as fast as possible. And they've been so successful because the way they go about it is rather unique, because it has nothing to do with medication to hide the pain and just kind of prolong the problem. It has nothing to do with some kind of rehab process. It's going to take months to finally get you to halfway to where you want to be. It's about your body fixing itself in ways that you might not have thought of. My experience is with the lower back issues. I went in after years of lower back twinges. We've all had it when your back seizes up and you can't move around for weeks on end. Well, that was me, and I went to Airrosti for the first time, and before I knew it, in 3 visits, I was back in the game, and I became an Airrosti patient for life. Find out for yourself. Don't live in pain. The providers are all around San Antonio. They accept most insurances. And here's the good news. You don't need a referral. You can get an appointment today. Here's the number you need. It's 1-800-404-6050. The website, it's Airrosti.com. You know, you can schedule there, and there's also a map of all the providers there. So I bet there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are right now. Listen, don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. There's a fix out there. It's Airrosti. Call them today. Let them take care of you and those that you love. And once you get all taken care of, come by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We're still working that accident on Loop 410 eastbound San Pedro. 2 left lanes blocked. That's now a 20-minute delay, slow from Vance Jackson. On I-10 westbound at Hildebrand, that wreck is in the left lane. 281 northbound, the on-ramp from St. Mary's, the on-ramp blocked with a wreck. And road work continues 35 northbound, 1604 to Olympia Parkway. Road work reduced to 1 lane. That is a 50-minute commute, stop and go from Weidner. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by PayPal.
This season, the PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app. And with the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. 0400.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up, it's golf.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Prize Picks. I got a question for you. Do you want to win 100 times your money? Well, Prize Picks can do it with as little as 4 correct picks. Let me tell you, if you're a fantasy player, you know the game. Put it to its use. Do you know James Cook's going to go off this week? How about Joe Burrow? Hey, let's talk about Pat Mahomes. Not quite the year, but you know how to play him. Is it more or is it less? You know the play. Just make your pick, and you can turn it to big money easy. And if you sign up today, you get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all the withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, and they often do, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Remember, download the app today and use the code Alamo. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Pat Mahomes had a good day, but it was less, and I took it home. If you know it, go play it. Prize Picks. Run your game.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we've been talking about it all year. Another big game for the Texas Longhorns, although this one for the SEC Championship.
It's Georgia again. Our Longhorn insider, Bob Ballou, will join us at 3:35.
Does Mike McCarthy actually have a chance to come back as head coach of the Cowboys? RJ Ochoa will tell us at 4:30.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let me make this absolutely clear. I don't care about Alabama or South Carolina or Ole Miss or any of these teams. I don't think
you're an SEC apologist.
No, I am.
Admit it.
I am an apologist for the teams that play in better conferences, because there is something to playing in that schedule week in and week out that is you can't match in the ACC when you play Stanford and Georgia Tech and Wake Forest and North Carolina State in 4 consecutive weeks. I just can't compare the two. They're not apples and apples is all it is.
And sadly, we are in a situation where we're trying to compare apples to oranges, and it's not possible. The apple will always win. There might be fewer apples than the oranges, but the better teams are going to shake through, and we're going to have consistent SEC and Big Ten national champions. No matter who else is invited to the party, they get to come and look. But at the end of the day, it will be a consistent 2-power conference, 1, 2, 3, 4 every year.
And I got news. If you think this is just like my bias or whatever, take a look at the odds. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The top 10 in the odds to win the national title. How many of those do you think come from the SEC or the Big Ten?
8.
It's 8.
I did the counting. I cheated.
Oregon, your favorite. Then Texas, Ohio State, Georgia. So all of your top 4. Notre Dame comes in at 5th. Penn State 6. Alabama 7. Tennessee 8. So 7 of your top 8. Then you get SMU 9, Indiana 10.
It is a testament to SMU. This is a school of about 20,000 students with an endowment of $1 billion playing in a conference where they're getting no money. Keep in mind, they're playing on their own dime the next couple of years, and they're there.
That's a testament to the NIL.
School. Well, that's exactly it. It's a testament to what a dollar can buy you.
Which SMU, when they last had real success, that was before NIL was legal, but
we're
they
back
found
in
it.
their mud pen now, man. We're back in their bailiwick.
And Claymore says the same Alabama that lost to Vanderbilt. And, yeah, Alabama lost to Vanderbilt, which and I think the loss to Oklahoma is even worse.
Far worse.
But if you look at those 2 losses and you go, man, those are ugly losses, and then you look at Miami's 2 losses and go, well, those are ugly losses.
Now, okay.
But now put in what Alabama did on the positive side. And Alabama beating Georgia and beating South Carolina. What positive did
They're a better
Miami
team that played a better, tougher schedule. And at the end of the day, that's right. But Miami is like, we can only do so much. You know, and I get it. And BYU is like, we'd love to be in the SEC. They wouldn't have us. So are we forever doomed? Are we forever doomed? Well, see, we can't promote that. We got a billion-dollar TV thing that tells us.
Why can we say that the Mountain West is doomed, but not the Big 12 and the ACC?
Well, they're not, because they got an instant in.
So does the ACC. You got one. Go win your conference.
So here's where we sit. And if you really want to be mad, ACC, if you really want to do something, maybe you, SMU and Clemson, huddle up. Just kind of huddle up before the game. And maybe SMU takes one for the team. Maybe SMU takes
Miami.
one for the ACC. No, but
there'd be two ACC teams in, and you know what?
They'd put two in, and maybe we say goodbye to Bama.
And you know what? If Clemson wins, that's what's going to happen.
Take one for the team, and we'll
Bama will be out.
Make Bama sit and watch, even though it lessens the pool.
But I'll say that I'm not going to cry a single tear for Miami or BYU or any of these teams from these crummy ass conferences. Go out and win yourself a big game in the non-con, especially knowing the conference you play in.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Floresville.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking.
How about them Cowboys? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
What makes the golden rule work is understanding that it's not really a rule, but a character trait. The doing unto others as you would have them do unto you becomes something you don't always have to think about because it becomes a defining point of your nature. Learning to embody the golden rule is about becoming a person characterized by love, patience, self-control, gentleness, and faithfulness. And you know you're making progress when you practice the golden rule even with people who don't always have your best interests at heart. This is one of the things that made Jesus stand out through the centuries. The golden rule really defined Jesus' character as seen in how he related even to his enemies, to those who misunderstood him, and even to those who were embarrassed to be in his presence. The ability to do good even when people do not reciprocate still is a game changer in our world today. This is Mark Apshin, the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org or visit us on Sunday mornings at 10:30. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Imagine owning waterfront property on the Texas coast. Introducing Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay. Secure your spot to see 1 to 4 acre properties with bay access from $59.9. That's right, just $59.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, a pool and cabana, boat launch and slips, fishing pier, dog park, storage, and more. It all happens this Saturday, December 7th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at $59.9. Call now to secure your private tour this Saturday. 832-281-6645. That's 832-281-6645. Appointments are limited, so call now and be sure to ask for the year-end event day specials and veteran and first responder discounts. Call now, 832-281-6645. 832-281-6645. Get your piece of coastal paradise.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws a block, and his teammate scores instead. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Road work on 35 northeast side of town still causing delays. Northbound 1604 over to Olympia Parkway, roadway reduced to 1 lane, almost a 20-minute commute. And then southbound from Jetson Road on down to O'Connor, roadway also reduced to 1 lane. That's a 15-minute travel time. Loop 410 eastbound San Pedro, that wreck has 2 left lanes blocked. 15-minute delay has you stop and go from Vance Jackson. I-10 westbound Hildebrand, that wreck is in the left lane, and 281 northbound St. Mary's, wreck right lane blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs were knocked out of Emirates Cup contention 104-93 by the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker had 29 points in the winning effort. Victor Wembanyama was named Defensive Player of the Month, leading the league with 3.6 blocks a game. The latest college football playoff poll is out, with Oregon holding number 1, Texas holding 2, SMU and Boise State rounding out the top 4. Surprisingly, Alabama in, Miami out. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right. D-Wayne says SEC only plays 8 conference games. They have 3 losses. Typical Aggie, trying to use other success to justify his own standing. The SEC top 2 teams aren't near as good as they used to be. I'm no Aggie, and this is me. Like, Rob's on the other side of it, really. Like,
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
I'm not a typical Aggie, I assure you. I am far from your typical Aggie.
I think is this an SEC defender?
No, I think he doesn't.
I don't think so.
He's complaining that I'm defending the SEC. Like, first of all, it just means more. I think we all know that. In the SEC, it just means more. But
I'm not going to dispute that.
Secondly, I don't have any allegiance to any. Like, I don't care about these teams. All I care about is I want better football games. I want better football teams.
It comes down to, do we want to be entertained
Yes.
by this national group of contestants? Or do we want a true national champion?
I want both.
Well, you don't get both.
Why not?
Because the true contestants are never going to be part of the top 12. There's always going to be a team that is probably better than 3 or 4 of the teams that are in, just because of a weird loss here, an untimely injury or something like Florida State had happen to them last year, where they're just not going to participate. So we will never really know.
All this 12-team playoff did was this. It took what we had with the 4 teams, and really, most years, you don't need more than 4 spots to decide it anyway. And quite frankly, this year, if all was said and done, and they said Oregon, Texas, Penn State, and Notre Dame are in the playoff, and I guess Indiana would have a chance to play Oregon no, they wouldn't, because Penn State would be. So maybe after the Big Ten title game, either Oregon or Penn State falls out, and maybe I don't know who's in.
If we're really nitpicking here, Boise State's going to have a bye.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me Boise State's going to beat any of the other 12 teams?
No, but they might beat Arizona State.
Maybe. Yeah.
But the point of those buys was the 4 highest rated conference champions get buys. And again, I'm happy with Boise State getting that versus the Big 12 winner, because the Big 12 is so bad. I think they're equal to or they're not better than the Mountain West, like significantly.
Okay, let's do this. I look at Arizona State, no chance. I look at Boise State, no chance. I look at Indiana, and I say no chance.
I think you're right.
And I look at SMU, and I say no chance. Anybody you can throw in and say has a better chance of winning a national, not winning a game, but winning a national championship, who do you throw in over those 4, 5? Does Miami make it at that point?
Miami can't win a national title.
I agree. So
you know what what you just said there? There's no one left out that can win. So
yes,
that's why
I agree. There's no one left out that can win.
So now everyone's represented, and all the teams that should have a chance to win it are still there. What are we bitching about?
Well, there's the guys that they like Boise State. If I'm Miami, I go Boise State.
But you knew that was a deal. They won their conference.
And it's about winning your conference.
And if Miami had won their conference, they'd be in no matter how crummy they were.
That's the end argument to every team until we have a 10-0 team that's coming out of the MAC who doesn't get in. And you go, well, you just didn't play a good enough schedule. Luckily, we didn't have that argument, but we will.
Eventually,
that's
for
happen.
sure.
It'll happen next year or the year after. Well,
if
there'll be a Cincinnati.
If Army had beat Notre Dame, we'd be having that conversation.
Right, and we'd go, well, it doesn't matter, even though it does, it doesn't. And that's the argument that we'd have. So I look at this and we go, yeah, we're going to have a champion, and no one will dispute at the end of the day that whoever walks away is probably the most legitimate champion we've ever had, because we have had 12 teams fight for it. But there's always going to be, if there's 16 in, there's going to be 20 with an argument. If there's 12 in, there's going to be 16 with an argument, and we have it now. And we were hoping to get away from it. And we thought that when we got here, no one would have any right to do any kind of arguing. Yet an 8-3 team, Alabama, gets in and knocks out a 10-2 team. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you'd planned it, but you just want to make sure the precedent is something that you can live with. And if we're ready to live with this, we're going to have to get used to it.
You know how many teams I think are better than Alabama? Like, if I said head-to-head on a neutral, who am I taking over Alabama? The only teams that I would are Texas, Oregon, Georgia. So that's why I don't feel bad putting Alabama. And yeah, I didn't say Ohio State, because I think Alabama would beat Ohio State. I
mean, it'd be a good game.
It'd be a good game, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I don't feel bad, because I know Alabama legitimately has a chance to win the national title. 3 losses or not. Like, would it shock you if Alabama won 3 games and won the national title?
That's why everybody's mad that they're in, because they could very well run this table at an 8-3 team.
I'd be much more shocked if ACC champion SMU won, or even like 2-loss Tennessee won, or 2-loss Ohio State won. Those things would shock me more than Alabama winning. So no, I don't. Notre Dame winning would shock me more than Alabama winning. So I'm not mad about it. And Brad says South Carolina greater than Bama. Well, they had a chance.
They lost.
They had a chance to beat them. They played, and Alabama won. End of discussion for me.
But I sure would like to see them here.
If everything else is equal, again, if it's a 3-loss Bama and a 2-loss South Carolina, different conversation. Both of them have 3 losses. Both of them play in the SEC. They played a game head-to-head. Alabama won. I can't feel bad for South Carolina.
No South Carolina, no Ole Miss. Though of the teams that aren't in, those are the only 2 that I could say have a puncher's chance.
And even then, I don't think.
Stagger through. And probably Ole Miss better than South Carolina just because that offense might be able to outscore you. But we'll never know.
Here's what Ward Manuel had to say on why the committee chose Bama over Miami.
What it came down to is as we evaluated both teams and looked at how they rank, obviously we think highly of both teams. One's at 11, one's at 12. But what it really came down to is Alabama is 3-1 against current top 25 teams, and Miami is 0-1. Alabama is 6-1 against teams above 500, and Miami's 4-2. Both have had some losses that weren't what they wanted out of those games. But in the last 3 games, Miami has lost twice. And so for us, in evaluating their body of work, we felt that Alabama got the edge.
So the loss twice late, I found interesting. What if they'd lost twice early and were hot now with the same record?
They'd be in. I think they would be in.
We were told that the losses don't matter when you have them. First loss is just as important as the last loss, and it's not.
It's not.
It's who won the last round.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, because that's when you're talking about eye test, and you've got like these are humans. This isn't like some computer thing. Humans are going to take into account. In the last 3 weeks, I saw Miami lose to Syracuse and Georgia Tech. Like, you can't unsee that.
But, you know, the retort is, well, Georgia Tech turned out to be a little bit better. Look what they did to the number 3 team in the country. You know, look what they did to Georgia. I mean, they took them to, 9 overtimes?
Yep.
So we're never going to know. But I do like the idea that if I just follow what they told me, I'll get in. And that's not going to ever be the case because you got to pass the eye test. Even if you're 10-2, if those 2 came late, sorry.
No, here's what they told you. They said, win your conference. If you are one of the 5 highest-ranked champions, you will get in. And I really think everyone, if they didn't realize before, you realize it now. If you play in a conference not called the Big Ten or SEC and you don't win your conference, it's a crapshoot if you're going to be in or not.
The one fix I would do, and this isn't about the teams that are in, but once you're in, I think there should be some reseeding. I don't think that SMU deserves any kind of home bye. I don't think they deserve it. I think it's nice. I think they're going to go play a fun football game. But Boise State hosting a second-round tournament game?
I think there has to. It's almost like the NFL, like the.
I know you're the division champion of a lousy division.
The Atlanta Falcons are probably going to host the Minnesota Vikings or the Green Bay Packers, and the Vikings and Packers are like, how we had such a much better season than you. Why do we have to go on the road to your place?
And Boise State, you think the season you had, and I'm Penn State. I had to deal with all this crap, and then I go beat Arizona, and then I gotta go on the road to Idaho. I'm twice as good as you. I have earned the right to play at home. You're lucky to even be in this freaking tournament.
Well, now you're stacking it even more towards the power conference teams, which
again, aren't we chasing a national champion? I mean, don't we want the very best, and the best earn some things when we have Boise and SMU earned a bye?
I don't hate that, but again, I'm one of the people who was like, I don't need 5 conference champions represented. I mean, I just want the best teams.
That might be the thing that comes out of this is maybe the guarantee to all 5 might be a little much. Maybe that we shouldn't even be talking about Arizona State that they shouldn't even be in the conversation just because this year the Big 12 was down. Doesn't mean next year they won't be, but this year you didn't earn it. Not a single team is worthy.
There is nothing about the trajectory of college sports that tells me the Big 12 or the ACC are going to soon be on the level of the Big 10 or SEC.
No, not the whole conference, but with a little bit of money, any team can have a one-off year. A little bit of money, you land on a wide receiver, and you deserve. You're 10-0, and it might be you're in a lousy conference, but you're damn good. I think that's more probable than entire conferences earning it. But to put out there that I think SMU is a good example. I think SMU, this was nuts. They're doing it with parts that were already there, but I do think that there's players out there that are looking at Big 12 teams going, if I'm there, we go 10-0. We're suddenly – the conference is awful. We're going to win 8 games just because I show up.
Well, I told you this before. With my power ratings, I'd have SMU and A&M. Texas A&M and SMU would be a pick 'em on a neutral.
Okay, and how many? And I think SMU would have a fighting chance against A&M. They're equal. But if you put SMU against the entirety of the SEC, they'd be.
Oh, they wouldn't be 11-1. They'd be 8-4.
I don't even think they'd be that, just because they managed to get by without the depth required to get through. They don't have to fight the kind of fights that A&M has, and where you have your third stringer better be as good as any first stringer in the Big 12, or you're going to lose.
And that's why I'm willing to reward these teams that play in the SEC and the Big Ten, because they're playing a different season than you are. If you're in the Big 12. You're not the season isn't the grind that it is in the Big Ten. It's just not.
Now, I do hope that a byproduct of this, and again, this is the first year, that we will see talent start to flow to Boise State, because you do know if I go there, I will play on at some point. Not only will I get an opportunity to play earlier, I'll get to play more, and we're good enough. I'll be on national TV, and I'll be fighting against Penn State on a bowl game in the middle. It does help to spread that talent. And I think more than anything else, this will represent how the talent will disperse far more than it ever has, because now Boise State is a nice place to land, even if you're not a freshman but a transfer, to go get a ring.
And, Doc said it's great for college football that a Power 5 is going to visit Boise. When will Boise ever do that?
In the grand scheme, it is great for the sport. It's just bad for the game. Does that make sense?
Right.
Bad for the day.
And here is like I said, if Army had beat Notre Dame, now, obviously, everything would be changed because Notre Dame wouldn't be in the playoff and we'd have an extra spot. But had Army beat Notre Dame and Army wins their conference and somehow had, like, let's say they're hosting now a playoff game in their 10,000 seat stadium, and Penn State comes to town or Georgia comes to town and just
unleashes, just uncorks 50-0 at home.
Now you can argue, UMBC beat Virginia.
They did.
And eventually it'll happen, but you have to roll through so many iterations before that happens. Mm-hmm. And maybe it makes it cool when it does, but for me, I just want the 12 best teams. And I accepted a couple years ago. I accepted there is no longer a Power 5. When the Big 12 was with Texas and Oklahoma and the Pac-12 existed, I accepted there was no longer a Power 5. There's a Power 2, and that's why Texas and Oklahoma left the Big 12. By the way, that's why USC and UCLA left the Pac-12 because they saw the writing on the wall as well. There's a Power 2, and if you're not involved in that Power 2, you damn sure better be the best in your conference. Mm-hmm. And if you're not, sorry, man, try again next year.
I do think, as you were saying earlier, that water finds its level, that it is going to even out. I think that the Pac-12 will come back, because I do think that now that we do see, we're going to be able to watch Boise State play in a playoff game. And if you're a kid in California, I don't think you believed that it was even possible that you could do that unless you went far east. And now you can go, I can stay home and compete and still play at the highest level and be seen playing against the greats and still get plenty of playing time and not have to go far. I do think we'll level out and the game will move a little bit further west, but it'll always be the Big Ten and SEC preeminent, just because the competition is consistent and the players that want to play there are from there.
And D. Wayne says the season isn't the grind. Most SEC teams play an FCS team in November. The grind argument is a complete fallacy.
No, wrong.
It's not. And most of the big time schools in the SEC that we're discussing right now, Texas went to Michigan in the non-conference. Georgia played Clemson in the non-conference.
A&M hosted Notre Dame.
Yeah, A&M played Notre Dame. Alabama went to Wisconsin, which, Wisconsin and Michigan ended up sucking, but you can't tell me at the beginning of the year an SEC school going to a Big Ten campus and playing, that's a big deal.
As long as you continue to get credit for even taking the game on.
Absolutely.
You need to get a half a point just for scheduling it, As long as they continue that, then I'm happy. But as the moment we start going, oh, well, you're 8-3, the 3 losses were to teams you didn't even have to play and you scheduled them and you get penalized for it, as long as doesn't take over. As long as you're allowed to schedule above your pay grade or a team equal to, and you don't get knocked in the teeth when you lose. You only lose half a point instead of 3 and embarrassed and kicked all the way down. This is the best way we can do it. But the moment we stop giving credit for taking on big games, the moment this whole thing falls apart.
And most Big 12 schools will do this. Like Iowa State went to Iowa. They do
every
every
school
year.
has always scheduled an off week, normally the week before their rivalry game. This is nothing new.
Yeah, this is not a big deal. And Iowa State played North, and whether you play them week 1 or who cares if you play them week 1 or week 10,
it's still an off week.
It's a bye week. Iowa State playing North Dakota in week 1. What's different about that than South Carolina playing Wofford in week 13?
Yeah. And Notre Dame survived the Northern Illinois mess. I mean, they got jumped up, and it happened early. Yep. It didn't happen late. If it had happened last week, I think Notre Dame would have had a different argument. But
I agree, but you know what? Again, it's a MAC school, but at least it's an FBS school. It's like Notre Dame. Did they play an FCS team this year? I don't think they did.
Not this year.
They usually
didn't roll into Marshall or something like that.
Yeah, they usually fill it. Like when they're playing, their bye weeks are against at least MAC schools. They played Miami of Ohio, who's actually, they're in the MAC title game. Northern Illinois was supposed to win. They were the preseason favorite to win the MAC, and then they play Army and Navy. But they don't play like they're not playing Duquesne.
It's funny.
I don't even know if Duquesne has a football team.
It's funny. We've gone through this entire thing, and I haven't brought up Notre Dame and their completely average schedule. They play a SEC schedule, an ACC schedule.
No, I agree.
I mean, they're not playing anything special.
But that's why after that Northern Illinois loss, they didn't have any wiggle room.
No, and they did it right.
And you know what? It's not their fault that Florida State stinks. It's not their fault that USC stinks. No, but they went to Texas A&M and beat them,
and they did.
They went to an SEC school and beat them. They went to a Big Ten school and beat them. Actually, 2 if you count Purdue, but Purdue's a dumpster fire. And Army ended up being good. I don't know. I mean, again, they couldn't have faded another loss with the schedule that they had, and they need to be. Notre Dame should be very mindful of that going forward.
Well, if I put out South Carolina with that record,
with 11-1,
yeah, they're in.
Of course.
I mean, but what I'm saying is Notre Dame gets a lot of credit for playing an average schedule because they're Notre Dame. They don't play a great schedule, never do. And it's not their fault. Well, they can pick and choose whoever the hell they play, and they always are very good. Have always been at looking down the road and not scheduling anybody too good, just good enough. It's always worked out for Notre Dame that way, and it's good. That's why you want to be an independent. But luckily this year they ran out and they won appropriate at the appropriate time. But they'd probably still be in after losing to Northern Illinois 2 weeks ago, just because they're Notre Dame.
The last 2 years. Well, first of all, they play USC every year. USC is usually pretty good. The last 2 years, they played Ohio State in a home and home.
They have. I will give them some credit for scheduling up, but for the most part, they have 2 tough games a year.
Yeah, that's about right.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if they didn't go 11-1, we wouldn't be talking about them.
They took care of business.
You're aware
quietly.
if you play a junk schedule, you better win all your games, and they did.
And Miami, you hearing that?
Yes.
If you're playing a junk schedule, you better schedule up your weight class and don't lose to Syracuse late.
If Miami went 11-1, they'd be in, and this would be a moot discussion. They didn't. All right. When we come back. Yeah, we got so much Jerry sound and Micah sound and all this. We got a lot. I don't know where we're going to go next. I think we're going to get off college football for a while because there's loonies out there. You guys are out insane people.
Hyping like madmen.
It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, I hope you washed yourself clean this morning underneath a Connecticut water softened shower. I did. I got up, turned on my water, and that's when my water heater went to work. And then once my water softener turned off, once I turned the water off. That's how a Connecticut works. Kinetic Energy, you don't even plug it in. It doesn't even have a motherboard. All the modern technology, there's not hardly anything to break. In fact, I can tell you the truth. Nothing on my Connecticut has ever broken. I've never even had to use the warranty. That's why I'm so proud to have one. I didn't know I had bought the very best when I did. I just went out and did a little bit of research and got the one that fit my needs. And as the years have gone by, man, oh man, have I been a benefit. Because lay dollars to donuts that my refrigerator has lasted longer than it should have because it's not dealing with all that junk that comes into the back of the ice maker. I can tell you that my pipes are going to last longer. I'm not going to see a plumber anytime soon because my pipes are clean because the Connecticut has protected my house from the time I moved in. If you don't have a Connecticut, get one. If you're moving into a new house, you got to get one. It's part of adding the value and the protection your home needs. And now is the best time ever to do it because there's a couple things happening they need to know about. One, if you just want to find out what I'm talking about, you can call Connecticut today at 656-PURE, 656-PURE. They'll come out and put a Connecticut in your home for 90 days. You can see what I'm talking about. They're not going to ask you for anything but a chance to prove it to you. And then once you decide to buy, like most of us, here's the best deal going that I haven't seen in a long time. They're going to get a reverse osmosis drinking station installed on your kitchen sink for free. I had to pay a little bit extra, but I'll tell you what, once I got that, no more water bottles, my coffee and tea clean and ready to go right off the sink. It's perfect for cooking and ready to go. And they also have the kind of decor to match your kitchen. It's not just an industrial thing. That's just part of getting involved with Connecticut. You need more details, go to ConnecticutSA.com. But remember this number, 210-656-7873. Call 656-PURE, get yourself a Connecticut, and come by and thank me later.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
If Renee would give me that Flight by Yingling inflatable, it'd be out there in the front yard.
No, it wouldn't.
Sure it would be.
Maggie would not allow that.
What's better than a flight for Christmas? Nothing. I want one of those spinners. It's got to spin.
What are we talking about now?
Well, the beer can.
Oh.
Those spinners.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Prize Picks. I got a question for you. Do you want to win 100 times your money? Well, Prize Picks can do it with as little as 4 correct picks. Let me tell you, if you're a fantasy player, you know the game. Put it to its use. Do you know James Cook's going to go off this week? How about Joe Burrow? Hey, let's talk about Pat Mahomes. Not quite the year, but you know how to play him. Is it more or is it less? You know the play. Just make your pick, and you can turn it to big money easy. And if you sign up today, you get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all the withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, and they often do, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Remember, download the app today and use the code Alamo. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Pat Mahomes had a good day, but it was less, and I took it home. If you know it, go play it. PrizePicks. Run your game.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-600-9595. 800-600-9595. 800-600-9595.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift, or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Okay. When I say things are getting crazy, we can't have serious conversations when someone like D. Wayne says Texas Tech would have been a 9-3 team in the SEC this year.
Guns up, go fight, win.
Let me just do this for you. And I'm telling you what the Las Vegas odds would say. And you could say, well, odds don't matter. If odds don't matter to you, I've got good news for you. You can be a millionaire because you can take a pile of money and go tell Vegas you are wrong. And you're gonna win a ton if you think this is false. There are 12 teams in the SEC. 12 of the 16 SEC teams would be favored over any team in the Big 12 on a neutral field. So you say, who is the best Big 12 team? There are 12 teams. 12 of the 16 would be favored over them. And as far as Texas Tech goes, Texas Tech would be favored over 2 SEC teams on a neutral field. They would be a 3-point favorite over Vanderbilt, and they would be a 6-point favorite against Mississippi State. That's it.
I don't think they'd beat either one of them.
They'd beat Mississippi State. I don't think they'd beat Vanderbilt.
I think that Mississippi State is one of those. They looked awful in the SEC.
But Kentucky, Arkansas, Missouri, all those teams favored over Florida or over Texas Tech. It's absurd to discuss that.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that argument. The fact that, well, we could continue to harp on the fact that Arizona State's going to be in the playoff. It could be there.
That's what I'm saying. 12 SEC teams would be favored over the Big 12 champion, whoever that may be. 12 of 16. You can't tell me the gap isn't huge. The gap is massive, and it's only going to keep getting bigger because all the money is at these schools in the Big 10 and the SEC. That's where all the money is, and that's where all the best players want to play.
Until they get their year, and hopefully they'll transfer to your school and help you out.
What you need is you need someone to fail in the SEC, drop down to a Big 12 or ACC school, and then
Connor Weigman's going to look really good
for Wake Forest. Yeah, he probably will be good.
I'm serious. He's going to look really good in an ACC uniform, throwing for 2,000 yards and keeping your team competitive.
Garrett Gilbert was a disaster at Texas. He got to SMU and looked like a god.
See Haynes King at Georgia Tech. Yes, the mayonnaise will spread thinner, but it's not going to rise the level of some of these conferences initially. I do think that there will be some catch-up, but there's just the sheer numbers. You could play every year that we could take the top 8 teams from the SEC and the top 8 from the Big 10. They could play out. We could come to a champion and let them take on the best comer from everybody else. And that champion would win 9 out of 10 years every year.
Listen, if you don't realize, and I know that. Listen, I know we're somewhat in Big 12 country. I know there's a lot of Tech fans, Baylor fans, TCU fans. It's just not the same level of football.
Well, the good news is we say that today. But there's going to be an opportunity to prove it, and we might find out over the next couple of weeks that Boise State is damn good. And they just didn't get a chance to step on a field against some of these SEC schools. We could find out that Arizona State and the Big 12, they were damn good. They were just eating themselves. And they got out of conference and got to play against somebody else to prove it. It could very well turn out that way. It's not gonna.
And it says a Big Ten or SEC fourth-place team's not going to win the national title. Tennessee lost to Georgia, lost to Arkansas. You know what? You're right. Those teams aren't national title teams. But I promise you, Tennessee or Ohio State or whoever the fourth best team is in these conferences are worlds better, and they've got way better chance of winning a national title than literally any team from the Big 12. Any team.
ACC too.
Yeah. So I don't know. If you don't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. All right. Let's shift to the National Football League, where Micah, we like to hear from Micah, and usually, I guess it's on Wednesdays is when Tuesdays when his podcast drops. Yeah. So that's about when we we get from Micah is still on drugs apparently, and I don't know that for a fact, but something's going on. Like maybe there's something pumping into the room. Like, who is it? Scarecrow on the Batman movies that pumps poison into the room and makes people go crazy. I think that might be happening to Micah, because Micah is still talking about the playoffs. Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? Micah Parsons still I don't know if he believes this, but he's still talking about the playoffs.
If we could find a way to win, 3 out of 4 of those games, and then obviously try to close out with the Commanders, we make playoffs. We're the second team in the NFC. So the chances are very, very high. They're not too far-fetched. Obviously, closing out the Giants was big, but if we could close out Washington, that would be huge too. The playoff chances are still there. So I think we can do it. I think we all been showing it, and we've been flashing. Think about it. Football is all about clicking at the right time. So we can find a way to keep clicking, keep winning, finding ways to win games, getting stops. Man, we could be great.
Yeah.
Ooh, we could be so great.
Ooh, man.
And, I'm the first one. And y'all going, I'm that person. I don't care what people say. And I'm going to say I told you so. And I'm going to laugh all day. I'm a mock. I'm a troll, because that's what I am. I'm a troller.
Well,
yeah.
You're something. If a frog had wings, he wouldn't hit his ass on the ground when he landed. I mean, if you win all that and you do all that and other things happen, there's a chance.
Yeah. If you win 4 out of the 5 games left, you'll be 9-8.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, when he said we'll be the second team in the NFC, I assume he means the NFC East.
He meant East, yeah.
And that's a real possibility, because I don't think the Commanders are all that good.
No, and they're going to beat him again. But they're not going to win out like this. It's just not going to happen. They've played a couple of bad teams in a row,
right?
And they've turned out to be just slightly less bad than those other bad teams. This isn't a playoff team. I'm not mad at Micah for saying it. I want him to believe it. In fact,
here's what I will say. I mean, the remaining schedule is
favorable. If you were half-assed, but this isn't a half-assed team.
This game on Monday night. Oh, the Simpsons game. I can't wait. I really cannot wait for the Simpsons game.
Do you know what Joe Burrow and this offense is going to do to the Cowboys? Do you have any idea what's coming?
I do. I don't think Micah does.
They're going to hang 40 on you guys. They're going to come at you in ways they got nothing to lose.
Micah's looking at it like, look what we just did to Drew Lock and a rookie Jaden Daniels.
This is not
Why
them.
would it be any different against Joe Burrow? I got news for you.
Hold on to your hope. I want you to believe that, but of all the teams in the world that you look at their record and go, you know what, we can beat these guys, it ain't Cincinnati. This is a wounded bear that is just waiting for an opportunity to get right, and the Cowboys are the perfect venue to get right. On national TV, this game is the biggest game that Joe Burrow and the Bengals have ever put. I'll put it up there with the Super Bowl. This is their chance to salvage this season.
Well, this is the Cowboys-Bengals game on Monday Night Football is under the radar a playoff game.
Yes,
the loser of this game is fully eliminated from going to the playoffs.
And this is the best bad team
now, these are
in
both
5 years.
Both these teams have almost no chance of going as it is, but the loser of this game goes from 2% to 0.
So you're going against Joe Burrow. Have you seen Burrow? They're moving the ball. They're losing football games, and it ain't because of that offense.
No, they're losing games, putting up 50 a game.
Yeah, so, and this offense ain't capable on their best day. The Cowboys ain't capable of 48 points. If everything worked out, they ain't capable of it.
The Bengals have scored, in their last 3 losses, the Bengals have scored 33.5 points per game on average. And that's in losses.
Yeah, we all feel good about ourselves. We're about to come back to life back to the world on Monday. So that being said, I'm not mad at Micah. You're saying all the right things. The problem with you, Micah, is you always say the right thing, or at least the thing you think is right, and you don't back it up. So you can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
go play, go do it.
All right, we'll hear some more sound. We'll hear from Jarrah on the other side. Maybe hear from Dakota on the other side as well. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, do me a favor. Walk out to your garage, your shed, or your barn and look in there. You got a tractor? If you do, if it's not orange, what's the point? You do not have the very best. And if you don't have your tractor, if you don't have that vehicle, that thing that helps you get the work done around your place or your business, you're not doing it right. And right now, Ewald Kubota, they're here to take care of you. You know, one of my favorite things to see whenever I walk into a dealership is zeros. 0%, 0 APR, 0 down. And then I want a big number like 84 months. How about 0 down, 0 APR, and 84 months to bring home a tractor that you can live with for a long time? The Ewald tractors are the best you're going to get. And if we're talking the L250-02, the tractor package they've got right now, 0 down, 0 APR for 84 months, you can go home with the best tool you can ask for under $350 a month. And that's just beginning when you walk into Ewald Kubota. The packages that you're chasing, they have year-end financing. If you've been looking, if you've ever even considered adding an Ewald Kubota tractor, LTV, RTV, whatever you're chasing, there has never been a better time than right now. You need to head over to all of our South Texas locations of Ewald Kubota. And while you're there, remember, Ewald's doing something fun, fantastic, that will benefit you as well. Did you hear Ewald is giving away a Kubota RTV 520. The raffle, they're giving away all proceeds to benefit One Hope for Kids, an adoption agency. It's easy to play. Go by or go online to ewaldkubota.com. It is a raffle with the potential of getting the very best Kubota you can get, the RTV 520. Go sign up, buy the raffle ticket, but more importantly, stuff your daddy's stocking with the very best orange thing you can find. That's a tractor from Ewald Kubota. And never forget, from the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota has been your Kubota dealer for 75 years.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working trouble spots at 410 eastbound San Pedro. That's an accident. 2 left lanes blocked. 35-minute delay. Slow from Exchange Parkway. On 410 eastbound, the off-ramp to Jackson Keller, we've got an accident. Off-ramp blocked. That road work at 35 southbound Judson Road to O'Connor, it's still there. Roadway reduced to 1 lane, so that's about a 12-minute delay, slow from Solms Road. I-10 westbound Linney in Seguin, we've got an accident, right lane blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
This report is sponsored by PayPal.
This season, the PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app. And with the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Hey guys, it's AJ from the Morning Huddle. Between us, when you hit a certain age, things start to feel a little off, right? You're tired all the time, your energy's low, maybe even your drive isn't what it used to be. And a lot of that comes down to testosterone. And trust me, it can happen to the best of us. That's where Game Day Men's Health comes in. They know how we feel, and they make it easy. Game Day Men's Health is over there on Bassey Road, across from the quarry. Their office has a relaxed man cave vibe, and they've built a 3-step process that's quick and designed just for us. First, get your T levels checked. Free testosterone test at their in-house lab. Then, you meet with a licensed provider to create a customized plan. And finally, you'll get those fast weekly treatments. After a month, you're going to notice a difference. More energy, better mood, and a kick in your libido. Don't settle. Be the best version of yourself. Call Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691. That's 210-900-3691. Feel better, be better at Game Day.
The best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. I put on my jeans and I feel all right. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Shop Black Friday deals now at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And get 2 free select tools with purchase of a select combo kit or battery kit from brands like Cobalt, Craftsman, and DeWalt. Hurry and shop these savings only for a limited time because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/28 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Old Spice Swagger Holiday Pack, perfect for a gift to treat yourself. 24/7 holiday freshness with daily use can smell your bestest. I'm gonna be smelling great all season. Old Spice scents just can't be beaten. Chock full of value, saving that green. Got the essentials needed to feel clean. Deodorant, hair, body wash, and spray. Celebrate your holiday the Old Spice way. Ho 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 ho.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single-line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
The wait is almost over for the most wanted Target holiday deal. Get 10% off Target gift cards with Target Circle this Saturday and Sunday only. From your teenage nephew to your kids' teachers and coaches, Target gift cards bring joy to everyone on your list. Join Target Circle for free now and you'll get the deal automatically. Shop December 7th and 8th for 10% off Target gift cards with Target Circle and save more on gifts. Happier holidays from Target. Restrictions apply.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And without further ado, joining us now on the Buyers Barricade guest line is Dr. Jason Garrett from Airrosti. Dr. Garrett, good morning, good sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
There's no complaints around here.
Living the dream.
Let's
is that
start.
Rob in the background?
That is Rob on a Wednesday. Can you believe it?
No.
I came in just to talk to you, Doc. Yeah, it has been a few minutes.
Yeah, he missed you. Christian McCaffrey, let's start there. That's the big injury last week. They say he tore his PCL. Looks like it's going to end his season. It was a non-contact injury, and in the slow-mo, it looked like it was like his calf popped. Like it got real big and then real small. Is the PCL connected to the calf in some kind of way that it would make it look like that? Or was I just seeing things there?
Yeah, I think that was just a slow motion of a guy with really muscular calves. As the calf was relaxing, it looked worse than it was. The PCL is not really attached to the calf. It's one of the cruciate ligaments. The reason they call it a cruciate ligament is you got your anterior cruciate, your ACL, and your posterior cruciate. The two of them cross and make a cross, and that's why they call them cruciate ligaments.
I never knew that.
So it prevents your tibia from moving backwards on your femur. Your ACL prevents your tibia from moving forward on your femur. The PCL is not nearly as important. That's why a lot of times when people tear it, they don't need surgery because it just scars back down and your patellar tendon is so strong it prevents that movement anyway, whereas the ACL is a lot more supportive of that forward translation. So PCL not as important, but when you tear it, it creates a lot of swelling deep inside the knee, which means you're more likely to tear something else. Your knee's not going to function. It's going to hurt for a while. Usually you're out for about 6 weeks for it to scar down. Sometimes they do surgery, only because a lot of other times they've torn other things besides the PCL. If he just tore the PCL, it looked like more of an impaction injury. Like if you watched when his knee hit the ground on that frozen tundra, the tibia kind of pushed backwards, and that's where it popped. Is my guess. That's how they usually happen. They're not super common. So if they miraculously made the Super Bowl or deep into the playoffs, he might come back, but I would say he's done for the year.
Doc, how much did cold weather play a role, if any, in that?
I think the cold weather played a role because the field was so hard, and if that had been a normal turf or normal grass that had a little more give in it, when his knee hit, it would have been a little more cushioned, but it was more like hitting solid concrete, so there was no give, and that ligament just exploded.
So it wasn't about being warmed up and stretched out or anything like that?
No, I think he was plenty warm. I mean, he was having a really good game. He was moving well. He was running fast. I think he was plenty warmed up. I think the field was just too hard.
Staying with the 49ers, Fred Warner says that he's been playing through a fractured ankle since week 4. That seems wild to me. Now, are there different levels of a fractured ankle he could be talking about, or is there just like is every ankle break the same, and this is just insanity that he would be playing through this?
Yeah, and I bet Rob has some understanding of this. So when you sprain your ankle, that bone on the outside that swells up real bad, that's your fibula. That's where the fibula comes down. You can have that's part of your ankle joint. You can take a piece of that off or have a hairline fracture in that and still have pretty much full stability. Because your tibia, the other bone on the inside, the big one, the shin bone, is the one that takes all the force. And so if you can tolerate the pain, it's not displaced, it's not an area that a ligament or a tendon attaches to, you can play with a quote-unquote broken ankle as long as it's not one of the structural bones. It's not unheard of. It actually happens more often than you think. Donovan McNabb actually played the whole season with a broken fibula, a little bit higher up, which was more significant because a lot of muscles attached there. So it's not uncommon, but it is very painful.
Are those normally like hairline fractures or chips? You know, I recall I had to deal with the bottom of that bone chipped off in a sprain.
Yeah, both of those are fractures. So depending on where his is, if it's chipped off, it hurts like crazy. A lot of times when it chips off, though, it pulls the ligament actually rips that off. That can be a little more detrimental and harder to play through. If it's a hairline fracture and there's no ligament attachment or tendon attachment, it's less painful and less detrimental to playing.
Yusuf Nurkic, he was not on the floor for the Suns last night because he has a thigh contusion, and they said he'll be reevaluated in a week. Now, my understanding is a contusion is a bruise. So this guy's got a bruise on his leg, a professional NBA athlete, a giant man, and will not be reevaluated for at least a week, which means he's going to miss 3 or 4 games. What am I missing here? Is it like what kind of a contusion could we be discussing that would make him miss that kind of time?
So have you ever known a football player or somebody else or a basketball player that's had a deep thigh bruise? Sometimes they can be so severe that there's so much bleeding inside the muscle it starts to calcify, and you actually create bone in there. Hopefully that's not the case for him. But even if it's not the case, having a really deep bruise in the quad muscle literally shut the muscle off. There's a lot of bleeding inside there, and when you go to just step or run or walk, it doesn't fire, and it feels like someone's stabbing you with a knife, which then even if you try to play through it, warms it up, the quad's not going to fire as well, so you're risking a knee injury or an ankle injury or something else.
So what do you do when you're dealing with that kind of deep? Is it deep massage and that kind of those vibrating guns and stuff to break up that calcification? Is that just the typical rehab for that, or is it just ice and wait?
There's a bunch of different things you can do. So you can do red light therapy, you can do laser, you can do acupuncture, you can do ultrasound, contrast baths, going from heat to ice. There's a lot of things they're probably doing. What they really want to do is just get that blood out of there. And so the Theraguns, those percussive guns, are probably not a good idea because that's like a repetitive bruising. It causes more of a contraction. So the slow massaging out, doing everything you can to get the blood pushed out of there is what they need to do. So get him on a bike, get him moving, get him doing as much as he can to get that muscle as healing as quickly as possible so it doesn't calcify.
Before last week, Trevor Lawrence, there was talk about him maybe having season-ending surgery on his AC joint sprain. He came back without the surgery and then got his head knocked off. Now that he's concussed, the way that concussion looked like he's probably not going to play again this season. Would it make sense for him to have that surgery and try and be 100% for next season, or do you think there's still a reason why he'd want to come back this year?
Well, if he was able to play without the surgery, and if he's forced to take a long time off, like if he is out for the rest of the season, I probably wouldn't have the surgery because that means it's going to heal, it's stable. Now, a lot of times you do the surgery so you can come back sooner and play. If he's not coming back anyway because of the head trauma, then I probably wouldn't do the surgery because otherwise I would have done the surgery before to get through the season. So it's depending on unless he hurt it more on the fall, which I don't think he did. It was a terrible injury. It looked awful to watch. I don't think he should get the surgery, but his surgeons can make that call.
One last. We got Jeremy Sohan coming back. What's the rehab like for a thumb? What is he just walking around with a tennis ball and squeezing it all the time?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do. Those ligaments are so tiny; they don't need a lot of stress. The bones don't need a lot of stress to get stronger. Just work on your grip strength, and hope you don't hit it again during the healing process.
That is Dr. Jason Garrett from Airrosti taking us around the world of the injuries. We appreciate the time, Doc. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, guys.
That's Dr. Jason Garrett. All guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line. Buyers Barricades provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. There's 1 hour left in our little program. We still got plenty to get into. I want to talk some college hoops coming up next. Maybe some NBA. I don't know if there's going to be enough time.
Busy.
Maybe Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know if there's enough time. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportstar.com.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Can you dig it? Come into any Ewald Kubota dealer and dig the savings on the full line of Kubota excavators. Like 0%, 0 down for 48 months. Plus, save up to $10,000 off. Come see us. Kubota deals are here. Kubota deals are now.
Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has over 19 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-600-9595. 800-600-9595. 800-600-9595.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Oh, Christmas leaks. Oh, Christmas leaks. You make our carpet squishy.
Here at Quartermoon Plumbing, we know all your Christmas wants, like the popular leaky faucet, the overflowing toilet, or the trendy clogged sewer line. No matter what list you're on, naughty or nice, Quarter Moon Plumbing will answer your call fast and fix your emergency quickly so you can get back to your Coco and Carolyn.
651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Has a loved one died and left you an old car to sell? GiveMeTheVin.com has just launched the new service GMTVCC.com. Write this down, GMTVCC.com, which is Give Me the VIN classic and collector car buying service. GMTVCC.com will hook you up with GMTVCC Pro buyers that will appraise and offer on that 69 Chevelle, old Corvette, old truck, and especially Restomods. We love Restomods at GMTVCC.com. Don't mess with consignments or auctions. Get paid today on your classic or collector car at GMTVCC.com.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. For a limited time, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Wrap up your holiday at JCPenney's Friends and Family Sale. This week, use your extra 30% off coupon to finish your list in style. Get dressy apparel and outerwear for the fam, now up to 40% off. Plus, save up to 50% off at our home sale and bring the festive and cozy home for the holidays. It's more gifts, bigger savings for all. JCPenney, make it count. Offers and coupon valid on select styles 12/4 to 12/8. Some exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I put on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working trouble spots at 410 eastbound San Pedro. That's an accident. 2 left lanes blocked. 35-minute delay slow from Exchange Parkway. On 410 eastbound, the off-ramp to Jackson Keller, we've got an accident. Off-ramp blocked. That road work at 35 southbound Judson Road to O'Connor, it's still there. Roadway reduced to 1 lane, so that's about a 10-12-minute delay slow from Solms Road. I-10 westbound Linney in Seguin, we've got an accident. Right lane blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs were knocked out of Emirates Cup contention 104-93 by the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker had 29 points in the winning effort. Victor Wembanyama was named Defensive Player of the Month, leading the league with 3.6 blocks a game. The latest college football playoff poll is out, with Oregon holding number 1, Texas holding 2, SMU and Boise State rounding out the top 4. Surprisingly, Alabama in, Miami out. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4 of the Huddle. Rob and AJ. Whoop. Fat steer. Saw off.
Feeble attempt. Look at your yell leader.
I could
follow your yell leader. He's giving you the signals. Pass it back, Ag. Pass it back.
I'll tell you a little story, Ag.
That's my favorite one.
I like this the step they do, like
that little knee to
the high
foot
knee.
To the back knee.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Man, those
you
guys.
You gotta be lighting your loafers to get that done.
You said it, not me, Bubba. You said it, not me. Hey, I got some giveaways. Well, let's give it all away at once, friends. Wanda Sykes is going to be playing the Majestic Theater on March 21st. She's a funny lady. Starred in one of my favorite shows of all time, Curb Your Enthusiasm. And Justin Furstenfeld is going to play the Aztec Theater on December 13th. Here's what we're going to do. I've got a pair of both those tickets. So the way I'm going to do it is caller number 3, you get your first choice of those tickets. Caller number 4, you get what's left. How about that? And if you don't win, if you're not caller 3 or 4, you can go to livenation.com and get tickets for either one of those shows. Either Wanda Sykes, March 21st at the Majestic, or Justin Furstenfeld of Blue October fame, December 13th at the Aztec Theater. So caller 3, first choice, caller 4, second choice. Easy as that.
I think it sounds simple. You ready, Edwin?
And,
onward and upward.
And we're off.
Load them up.
Did we already give away those Jimmy Carr tickets? You know what?
We haven't.
Caller 5. Well, hey, we got a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Carr, the Laughs Funny tour. He's British, so everything he says is funny. September 19th at the Aztec Theater. Caller number 5. So now you got 3 ticket options. So 3, 4, and 5, Edwin. Give 3 first choice, 4 second choice, 5 whatever's left. There you go. And, of course, if you don't win tickets to Jimmy Carr, you can get those at livenation.com as well. Livenation.com.
Busy place.
A lot of tickets there at livenation.com. All right. I've got basketball I want to get into, but I also want to play some of this Jarrah sound before it goes away. They asked Jarrah about the team not quitting and what it says about his faith in Mike McCarthy. And I'll be honest, I've kind of come around to the fact I don't want them to fire Mike McCarthy. I don't want them to give him like some sort of crazy long extension.
Well, again, it's not firing. They're just fixing the glitch.
Yeah,
or he just goes
let
away.
him walk away.
Yeah.
I think what I would do is I'd offer him another 1-year deal. And if Mike McCarthy might very well say thanks but no thanks. But I'd say, hey, do you want to coach here another year, or maybe even 2? No, you know what? I'm sticking with 1.
I get where you are because this is not a product of his manufacture.
No.
But
and are you going to get somebody better?
Well, I don't think they're going to get anybody better. But I do think that there comes a time in some coaching careers, and I'm not saying that he's there, that your players, even though you have a massive turnover every year, but your stars are no longer able or care to manifest what you want to do. And it's not that what you want to do is wrong, and it's not what they want to do is right. It's just you come to a time that even Bill Belichick wasn't, the message wasn't getting through. And I'm not sure McCarthy's there, but I do know that the Cowboys, if the owner ain't going to change, nothing's going to change. But if you're going to at least try to manifest it, McCarthy would be the best guy to initiate the change because he's been there long enough to know what needs to be changed. I'm just not sure he's in a position to do it. I think you need to be a new coach to come in and get like a year, like way back when Parcells showed up. And for about a year, Jerry had to shut up.
Yeah.
It didn't last for long, and there was some changes. But you're changing the paint on a building that has other issues. I think you're right. I don't think McCarthy's the problem, and he won't prolong anything bad, and he'll bring some good. And there's players that like him. I'm just not sure it's worth the effort.
Well, here's what Jerry had to say about what it says that his team is still trying.
Quality of character, quality of football character. He's steady as a rock. He basically has never wavered from his mantra of we didn't play well, so we don't. I'm not going to say don't deserve to win, but the reason why we didn't win is we didn't play well. He's genuine. He's no BS with these players. And I've never thought for 1 second that the team had quit recognizing what an outstanding coach he is.
Now, it's not just Jerry saying these things, because now Dakota's been in the news. Dakota was on a USA Today podcast with Jory Epstein, and also talked about Coach McCarthy.
Yeah, that I believe in him wholeheartedly. I don't want to necessarily get into the nuts and the screws of it all, obviously, but I think he definitely deserves a chance, another contract, and a chance to coach this team amongst and kind of, I guess you can say, more influence on his terms. Maybe be a good way to say it. But I wholeheartedly believe in him. The guys won a Super Bowl. I know Jerry's attested to that. There's not many guys or coaches who have done that, and to have one that can do it from experience, and I know how valuable he's been for me.
Well, I don't think Mike McCarthy's in like a powerful negotiating spot where he can I think if Jerry says, "Hey, we'll bring you back. Do you want to try this? You want to try this another year or not?" I think that's what it's going to be like. It's like, "Hey, do you really want to do this one more year? If not, cool, we'll move on." And I think that's a good way for Jerry to present it. Like, "Hey, we're not going to make a big deal out of this. Either you can be back next year on a 1-year deal, and we can see if this works, or if you'd rather go your way and we'll go ours, hey, no hard feelings, and we don't have to present it like you're fired. We can just say, we're going to go in a different direction, or you want to go in a different direction. You can kind of control the narrative."
And I think that's probably the best place for McCarthy to be. But there are some things that need to be addressed. I mean, certainly we're going to give him some pity for the injuries and his owner, but the pre-snap penalties,
that's coaching.
Yeah, there's some things that we would need to address for McCarthy. His inability to choose an offensive coordinator. I mean, this whole setup we have right now with a coordinator, but he's calling the plays. We're gonna have to fix this. What you could either call the plays and have somebody else in quality control, or something. But you doing both, I don't think is working. So I think there's some things that I'd like to address. Your offensive coordinator and the system at which we call plays. The pre-snap stuff, dude, you just got to fix this. There's just no getting around it. That's one of the problems we've had. So while I give him some pity, there are some ongoing issues that McCarthy has never fixed, ever. And some of it's the atmosphere. You live in a circus, you're going to play like you're in a circus. But you're going to have to tighten up some of the edges, despite the fact that you're playing for the Cowboys and all that goes along with it.
We have established a championship program. It's just not the world championship yet.
Finally, Dak talks about how McCarthy has helped his game.
Yeah, in so many ways. I mean, he always discusses, it starts with the quarterback, and then obviously footwork's one of the main ones I've always, glorified in the sense of just calming my feet down, tying the routes with the feet and the timing of that. I think that's a huge foundation to now the way that I play this game. And I mean, I credit Mike for it, but so many nuances of the games, and excited to just continue this rehab and missing the hell out of the game right now.
Now, this is, when I say what I'm about to say, it's not something that you're going to want to hear if you're a Cowboy fan, but it's a reality. You kind of have to take into account what Dak wants, because Dak is your quarterback for the next couple years, like it or not now.
I think we probably had to last summer more than now, but yeah, you don't want him upset.
I mean, you want to see if Dak thinks he's going to get the best of himself with McCarthy, that's what you want to give him the opportunity to do, right?
Well, from now on, though, Dak's already got his bag. He's got the bag. He'll get another contract, but this was the bag. He has achieved it. He has the life's goal, the aspirations from the first time he picked up the football when he was 5 years old. He achieved it on the first day of the regular season when he signed a $250 million contract.
And what that means is he is your franchise now.
But you hope, given the fact that he signed onto this franchise, that the moment he signed started to crack and fall apart, because all the money he took.
But totally unrelated.
Totally. But, I mean, does he now come to the stadium and to practice every day the same way after we turn the page from this fiasco? After he comes back healthy, will he play like he hadn't signed a $250 million contract? Because if he will, then let's carry on. But he could be the kind of guy that, I've done what I was supposed to do. I've run the race. I've signed the deal. It's all guaranteed. I'm just going to play the way I played.
And Dak may be realizing that, hey, Mike McCarthy's comfortable for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the alternative could be some hard-ass,
or something where the game changes and I get a coach that comes here that's like Tomlin who wants to play defense and wants me just to hand the ball off 3 times and not lose a game instead of having some fun and throwing for 4,000 yards and 30 TDs.
Hey, well, guess where that's working? With the Chargers now.
Yeah,
literally right now with the
place.
Chargers. That's the recipe, and I'm sure Justin Herbert, and that's a great point because now you find out what's your quarterback care about.
Yeah, is it
putting up
all
huge
about
numbers or winning football games? Because I bet Justin Herbert, even though Justin Herbert's numbers are pretty good. I think he's thrown 1 pick all
his
year.
Percentages are better. His volume is down.
But I would imagine he's having a lot more fun now that he's winning football games.
Well, again,
than when you're throwing for 4,000 yards and going 5-12.
Well, they've also gone 4,000 yards and 13-3. I mean, they've done it. It's just been the last game of the year that's always been the problem. I don't have any question about Dak's want to. He's a professional first, but you want to win a title. He's going to do everything he can to get there. But when it comes down to it, and you've already got the contract, and it's already guaranteed, and you're in a lot of pain. Do you take a weekend off? Do you take the week off because you're hurting where last year you're playing for the money? I mean, it's those little things that Dak has never had that he finally has achieved 8 years into his career. Did he reach the plateau, and will that be enough as this team tries to rebuild while paying him and 2 other dudes half their money?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Better men have failed. And worse have managed. So we'll see.
Do you think that's the right move is to offer McCarthy a 1-year deal?
I do. I really do. You're not going to find anything better. And this team is in such transition. So many of the questions haven't been answered yet. What are we going to do with Micah? Is there a coach going to show up and go, so exactly how are we going to handle Micah? And what are we going to do with our running back situation? This isn't an ideal landing spot for a lot of coaches, and this is the known. And sometimes I'd rather have the known and know what he's going to do as we go through this than a new dude that could come in and be a complete catastrophe.
Because I think you have to a guy like this isn't a job for a guy like Ben Johnson, a guy who's never been a head coach.
This is a job for an experienced dude. So you've limited your talent pool down to just a few. Now, do I call Mike Vrabel? Yes.
Do I call Bill Belichick?
Yes, but there's going to be some questions coming back at me.
Exactly.
If I'm Jerry, that I have to be prepared to answer that I might not want to deal with. I don't want to give up anything. I've come this far.
And both of those guys, Belichick and Vrabel, are defensive-minded guys who are going to take some things off the plate of the quarterback. They're going to build their team where it's because Bill Belichick, until Tom Brady turned into full form, complete supernova Tom Brady, he's
the reason what's his name, Drew Bledsoe ended up a Cowboy.
Yeah, he was very careful about what he put on Bledsoe or on Brady's plate until he became, like I said, complete Brady.
If you're a betting man, what do you think? I think it's probably 50-50 right now that he comes back, and that's if they lose the rest of their games. I mean, he could only improve his status right now.
I don't think they can lose the rest of their games.
Not gonna, but
you can't lose to the Panthers.
But you don't have to go to the playoffs right now.
No, this team's not going to the playoffs. We got to stop taking that seriously.
Well, no, but you'd say, okay, you can stay. As Jerry could give the if you make it to the playoffs, you win 4 and 5, your job is waiting for you. It's not that.
Yeah. And Claymore says, hire Kellen or Aaron Glenn. It can't be those guys.
Kellen will never come back to San
Antonio. It cannot be those guys because they don't have experience being head coaches.
Well, Kellen is one thing. That's a failure on Jerry's part, and he doesn't do that. He doesn't Kellen's gone, and he'll never be back in the family.
Yeah.
He left, and he won't be invited back. Where Jason Garrett was handled differently, and he'll always be welcome home. You know? So I do like the Aaron Glenn idea in 2 years. I do. I think Aaron Glenn's going to be a head coach in the next 2 years.
I do too, but I don't think it can't be here. It's got to be someone who's got experience already, and can handle the locker room and the circus, and because there's nothing you've seen in Detroit that is going to compare to what you're dealing with here.
There's 3 guys in the world that are ready for this job.
I really think, and quite frankly, Mike McCarthy's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's either Mike McCarthy, unless Mike Vrabel or Bill Belichick's interested, and if they are interested, then you have to have some, especially Belichick, you're going to have some real discussions about the power dynamic of this team. And I don't know if Jerry wants to have those discussions.
As we sit right now, he does not.
But you know what? He may be getting desperate as this season's gone on. He may be like, okay, if I've got to cede a little bit to not be embarrassed.
You know what? I think if the record was the same or even worse, and Dak was still playing, there'd be a whole lot more desperation than because Dak isn't playing. That's a built-in excuse. Well, we don't even have our quarterback now. What do we expect?
All right, when we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on outside the world of sports. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you about Carbach. Carbach beer. That's what I'll be watching. I'll be drinking Carbach during the Simpsons Monday Night Football game. I can tell you that much. Carbach's got something for everybody. From a world-class IPA, I think the best IPA brewed in the great state of Texas, and Hopadillo, super in-your-face hops. Good, bitter, old-school IPA flavors. The Kolsch, or Blonde, whatever you want to call it, the Love Street, which is their kind of their easy drinking introductory beer. That if you're drinking the big beer, if you're not used to craft beer, it's a great intro. Really smooth, just an upgraded version of what you've been drinking. Or if you want to go outside your box a little bit, try the Crawford Bock, which is my favorite of their everyday drinkers. Just goes perfectly with any situation. Not too heavy, not too light. It's full flavor, just a great, fantastic beer. And it's all over San Antonio now, guys. Not only is it in your liquor stores and your HEBs, but it's at almost every bar or restaurant you're going to go to in San Antonio. So if you're thinking, it's too much of a pain for me to go out and find the special beer or whatever, it's not. It's not. It's available. So next time you're out at a bar, next time you're out at a restaurant for dinner, ask your server, hey, do you have any Carbach? I promise you won't regret it.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a trouble spot at 35 northbound. That connector to get onto Loop 410, that's partially blocked with a wreck. On 1604 northbound approaching Culebra, left lane blocked with an accident. And this crash at 410 eastbound Blanco Road, 2 center lanes are blocked. That has you stop and go from Ingram, so tack on at least an extra 25 minutes to your commute. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
What's on? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer, and coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
Trusted steel power in the palm of your hand. This holiday season, save $30 on the GTA 26 handheld garden pruner. Now just $149.99. Check off a gift from the top of their wish list and make trimming tree limbs a breeze with a lightweight design and 4-inch cutting bar. Visit your local steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Was $179.99 MSRP. Includes battery and charger. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now, sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first, sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Want to win the holidays? Ulta Beauty has the hottest beauty gifts your family and friends actually want. I'm talking beauty gifts they'll be obsessed with, like wow-worthy exclusives from Tarte, Charlotte Tilbury, and Clinique that everyone will rave about, and luxurious fragrances from YSL, Valentino, and Ariana Grande. Of course, when in doubt, you can never go wrong with a gift card. Super thoughtful, yet super easy. Visit Ulta Beauty today to get all the best gifts for everyone on your list.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. For a limited time, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Alrighty then. Huddling up on a morning and huddling. What a day it's been. A lot of college football talk. But I like that. I like some, I like a little CFB.
Our playoff nearly set, though we'll have at least one team added to this list after the Big 12 completes there. It's National Signing Day. Your favorite schools landing the next and future players. We're following that as well as the faxes come in. I think faxing is still, this is one of the last thing that is still faxed.
Yeah.
Is your letter of intent.
Let's take a look at what's going on outside of sports. Do you like Jeopardy?
What is a game show that I watch every now and again? Yeah, I like Jeopardy. I'm down.
Part of the fun of Jeopardy is when you do well, like if like I say, when you do well, if you're watching and you know some of the answers, it feels really good, right? Like you feel like, oh yeah, I got something there. They're trying to now make a much easier Jeopardy, which kind of defeats the purpose of it for me. They're talking about something called Pop Culture Jeopardy, which isn't for like diehard trivia people, but it's like they're talking about Taylor Swift lyrics and what is Left Shark, like, it's
well, that's all about, yeah, I get what they're going for.
They're trying to get a dumber audience.
Well, not a dumber audience, an audience with a different set of maybe not as culturally significant. To be Jeopardy, you have to have been well read, and you have to get into some serious historical stuff. You're not just your passive pop culture consumer. As long as that's not going away, they want to lighten it up. I get it. I've watched Jeopardy episodes where I've gotten most of the questions right, and then there's been days where I got absolutely nothing and thought, I hate this. I'm not going to watch this anymore because I don't know. These people are on a different level than me.
But, I mean, that's the point. Like,
Well,
that's why we
I
watch,
get it, as
right?
long as that's not going away. But I also like getting the questions right before the guys that are playing. And if you're going to give me an avenue to do that, I'm kind of down to watch.
The story is like, there's just a lot more people walking around Earth that know Drew Barrymore starred in 50 First Dates than those who know that apples and cherries are both classified under the rose family of flowering
See what
plants.
I'm saying? I get, but as long as the one that really kind of separates the dumb or the smart from the genius is still there. But
it just takes away for me. Like I don't like my kids wanted to get the Trivial Pursuit for Kids. I hate that game because
you don't have the reference points. You're going to get beat.
No, I don't get beat, but I don't feel as good when I beat them.
Really?
And it makes the game closer because
that's the point.
I know everything. I know I don't know everything my kids know, but I know enough about stuff going on in the world now that I can compete with them. They don't know anything about anything outside their small little bubble.
And that's what this is for.
It takes away my edge. I don't like that. I want it to be I still want Jeopardy to be.
Have you ever tried out for a game show?
No. I want to be on the I told you before, I wanted to be a game show host really bad. I would love to be on The Price is Right or on Wheel of Fortune.
I had a fraternity brother get on Jeopardy.
Yeah. I don't think I wouldn't be good enough at Jeopardy. I'm not smart enough for that.
It was a process. He didn't do well, but he did get on.
Well, hey. I'm
undefeated in Trivial Pursuit, by the way. I've never lost.
Never lost.
Never lost. 40 years. Undefeated.
And you play?
It's one of those family gathering kind of things or whatever. But it's been a minute since I filled a pie. But, yes, I have an unblemished record.
Oh.
I'm not throwing down a gauntlet. I'm just saying.
If we do a station Christmas gathering.
Maybe we play a little Trivial Pursuit.
Maybe that would be fun.
Fill a pie. Although there's so many different versions now.
There are a lot of different versions. And that's, by the way, I don't like the all sports version either.
No, I don't like that either.
It doesn't, I don't know why, but I know a lot of stuff about sports, but for whatever reason, when I know all that stuff about sports, it doesn't make me feel smarter.
Well,
even though I'm
sure
sure there's people who would be like, man, I wish I knew more about sports and less about botany.
Well, if you were a botanist,
yeah,
it's just the rigor. Yeah, I know a lot about it. It's my job.
Well, I don't know. I don't want the reward of, like we look at the guys who win Jeopardy. It's like, oh, that's a really, like that Ken Jennings guy.
Yeah.
I think of him as like a really smart guy.
Well, we don't want that to go away. As long as that stays, we can have a B team. We can have a JV.
Who's watching that?
Well, the JV. The lessers. The little brains.
Who is Sandy the Squirrel? Okay, wow, yeah. You
That's a pretty good one, though.
Yeah.
Because you and I know SpongeBob, but, others might not necessarily know.
Elsewhere, are you familiar with Debbie Nelson?
The mother of the half? I don't know.
No, it is the mother of Eminem.
Oh, I thought his name was Mathers.
Well, that is, but she got remarried,
I got you.
et cetera. But she died. His mom finally died after years of him wishing death on her. She has now died.
He's rapped against her more than once.
She died of lung cancer. Apparently, she's been battling with it for some time. She once wrote a book called My Son Marshall, My Son Eminem, Setting the Record Straight on My Life as Eminem's Mother. I'm sure that was
that went over well.
I'm sure it was well received. But she did congratulate him on his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction in 22. And apparently their on and off again bond had improved in recent years. But yeah, he's not gonna be able to sing about her anymore. That's it. And that makes me feel old. Eminem's mom is dead, and his daughter, who was a baby,
and also the
is now
of a lyric or two,
is now having a baby. We're getting really
such is life, man.
We're getting up there, Robert. We're getting way on up there.
Given the alternative, I'll take it.
Well, yeah, it beats dying. And finally, Cuba. This is good news for Texas. We're not the only ones. Cuba's energy grid has collapsed, leaving millions without power. Apparently, their situation is not dissimilar to ours here in Texas.
They got the same grid we do?
Apparently so. But they said it's going to get better. It says that and they don't blame necessarily the government. This isn't all the government's fault, even though the people want to blame the government. It's an infrastructure issue.
Well, that's the government.
That's kind of what I think as well. That I don't know that you can.
The problem with communism is there's no money in it.
Are we a communist state here?
Well, did you? Speaking of Cuba, yesterday the head of ERCOT, our grid monitor, said we're running about a 50-50 shot for another collapse like we had in 2022. That if we have another one, not even as bad. If we have another one, a snap, which looks like the prognosticators are saying it's possible, more than possible, almost probable, that we have a 50-50 shot of this thing collapsing again.
I don't want to hear that.
I'm just telling you, here we go, man. They had 4 years to fix this crap, and this guy comes out after all the elections and says, oh, by the way, if we get another one of those, 50-50, we're not sure. You know.
Yeah.
Just playing appropriately. We're almost as good as Cuba.
Almost. And although I don't think this happens in Cuba. 31-year-old woman in Florida has been arrested for strong arm robbery after she became hostile, both verbally and physically, after fast food workers failed to include 8 sauces in her mobile pickup order from Raising Cane's.
You want any sauces with that? You ask me. I didn't bring it up. And it's not in the bag. I'm strong arming as well.
According to court records, Mackenzie Keeling, who has a mixture of blue, pink, and root-colored hair.
Did you read that, or does it say that?
No, there's a picture of her.
I thought that was the description.
there's a picture of her. And also has, like, colorful freckles tattooed onto her face.
A weird trend, but that's another thing.
Yeah. She went to get her food from Raising Cane's.
The cane sauce, I can get it.
Only to discover that she had ordered 8 packs of Raising Cane sauce but didn't get them.
Did she pay for them?
Well, that's the thing. She returned to the restaurant, spoke to a female manager who provided her with the dipping sauce. However, she did not. She made sure she got what she ordered, but she said she should get more dipping sauces
for having to come back,
for having to waste her time and gas.
See, what I never understand is why didn't the Raising Cane's chick just give her the sauce? It's not your sauce.
It's 35 cents a cup, Rob.
Just do it so you don't have to deal with the idiocy that's coming when you say no.
During her tirade, she shot out her right hand with force and struck the lady, Tatiana Herbert, although struck her in the leg, and then tried to tear the keys and Cane's ID from a lanyard attached to her belt. The victim was in fear, and Keeling was arrested and booked into county jail, released on $2,500 bond. Lawyer entered a not guilty plea. Her address is listed in court records at the waterfront Clearwater home her parents purchased in 2020 for $1.2 million.
She's in Clearwater.
She was about 10 miles from the Raising Cane's, so I can see her, I had to go an extra 10 miles, but it's 39 cents for an extra ounce and a half.
So your employee got into a fight and all of this because they wouldn't give some sauce. I appreciate your love of Raising Cane, and you're protecting every penny from them. Give her the sauce. Give her the sauce.
One love.
And she's just as wrong. I'm not justifying anything that woman did. But as the employee, understand, it ain't the end of the world if you give some extra sauce.
I feel like this only happens in Florida,
Well,
by
of
the way.
course. Well, yeah. Well, it is cane sauce, and it is quite good.
It is good. By the way, I went to Cane's a couple days ago. You know what they offered me?
I don't know.
Will you be needing any ketchup, sir?
Oh, no. I've never had that asked.
I haven't either. First time ever. But they were like, yeah, you need any ketchup? I was like, no.
Why?
Why am I need ketchup?
You guys have ketchup?
No, I don't need it.
What? To put on my...
I dip everything in the sauce.
Am I going to put the ketchup on that little thing of...
Coleslaw?
The coleslaw that I throw away. That little thing of coleslaw that nobody ever eats. Do you eat it?
The coleslaw now. You know why?
I started switching it out.
I switch it out, and then I'll just order an extra toast or extra fries. But I found if you dump the sauce on the coleslaw, it's good, and it's got to be good for you because it's vegetables.
Couldn't be bad, but I need my sauce elsewhere.
I order extra sauce. I'm willing to pay for the extra cups of sauce.
And I bet you've never started a fight.
But I'm also I'm a 1%er. I'm in the elite, so I can afford. If I want 2 extra cups, I'll throw down.
80 cents on me anytime you need.
I'll throw it down, man. I'll say, you know what? Charge it, Bubba.
You need 80 cents?
Put it on my my black Amex.
Throw that 80 cents on the Amex. Wait, let me check my balance.
I can't imagine driving back 10 miles for extra sauce and then fighting someone when they didn't give me more than what I ordered.
And I've been furious. We've all gone through drive-thrus, but I've never gone back.
No.
I've called and every now and then, but I would.
When I go back,
fire the employee.
I go back if they mess up my wife's order.
Yeah.
If they mess up my order, I just deal with it. I don't know that I've ever been through a Taco Bell drive-thru where they got my order right. You know how many times I've taken the time to go back and go through again? Pretty much never. I don't know that I ever have.
Have you ever gotten more than you ordered?
No.
See, that's the thing. If every now and then the mistake was to my benefit, I would be okay. But I have never gotten more than I ordered.
Now, if I'm missing a burger, I'll go back through.
Well, you almost have to. That's when they're taking money out.
But if I said no tomatoes and they decided to put extra tomatoes, well, I just suck it up and deal with it.
I'm not going back. But I would fire the employee. I'd have a serious talk. Seriously, you brought all this on everybody because you didn't give her a 39-cent packet of, really?
Well, she wanted 8, boss.
Okay, so in that trash
That's almost
bag right
$3
here, where there's 500 of them, you couldn't just reach in and go, here you go, please leave my store.
Now we're opening Pandora's box, Rob. You let one 3-loss team in?
I tell you what, Miss Chick-fil-A would have said. Miss Chick-fil-A would have said, my pleasure.
Absolutely. But they've got a different business model.
Canes comes swinging. No!
They got a different business model than Canes does. All right, when we come back, we'll take a look at the daily lines. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1. Oh, it's me again. Here to tell you about Game Day Men's Health. Oh, yeah. I'm feeling like a new man, Rob. I am feeling like a new man. I went to Game Day Men's Health, and I was like, I was a little skeptical. But first of all, I was mostly skeptical because I didn't want to go through the process. I felt like it was going to be a pain in the ass, literally, to go through. Like, I didn't want to go in and give blood and then come back in a few days, and they've got to send my results off, and then they'll tell me, okay, here's what you want to do. Do you want to make an appointment to do that? No, they do it all in one fail swoop. Just amazing. I went in, they drew my blood, ran the tests. I sat down with a licensed practitioner. They said, hey, here's your options. This is what your results are. Here are your options. What do you want to do? And I said, let's do this. And they said, okay, do you have time to do it now? I said, sure. We did it then, on the spot. Boom. I was in and out, the whole thing, less than an hour. That is what I'm talking about, Bubba. And guys, if you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling like maybe there's something off with you as you get into your late 30s, early 40s or beyond, a lot of the times it is testosterone, and there's no shame in it, man. It happens to everybody, and you're going to notice a difference. Better mood, better libido. Oh, my poor wife this last weekend. Oh, poor woman, what she had to go through with me on these testosterone pellets. Oh, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But also better sleep. Man, I've had way better sleep. My energy's up. It's just you feel better all around. They're right there, 250 East Bassey Road in the Quarry. Don't settle. Be the best version of yourself. Call Game Day, 210-900-3691. 210-900-3691. Feel better, be better. It's Game Day.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
There's one name in roofing that stands high above the rest, Stevens Roofing. A quality roof overhead by Stevens Roofing means comfort, confidence, and peace of mind. It's protection for all the things you love. And during this holiday season, Stevens Roofing would like to thank all the first responders and military service members for the protection and peace of mind they provide. So for all your roofing needs, commercial or residential, remember Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net. Happy holidays from Stevens Roofing.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare and you want out, you need to get the facts. Wesley Financial Group and its founder, Chuck McDowell, have helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshares permanently, and he may be able to help you too. Call right now. Chuck will send you a timeshare exit information guide free explaining how your timeshare works and all your options for cancellation. You want to call Wesley Financial Group, 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Once again, 800-761-0000.
This is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Tri-County Meat Market. You've heard me talk about great deals over and over, and there is no better deal in all of San Antonio than the 5 for 30. 5 items in a bag. You walk out of Tri-County with 2, maybe 3 meals in your bag. No better deal to be found either on Ralph Fair or out on Evener. Tri-County Meat has everything to up your grilling game, and 5 for 30, go pick that up and come by and thank me later. Tri-County Meat Market.
At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant. We've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Imagine owning waterfront property on the Texas coast. Introducing Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay. Secure your spot to see 1 to 4 acre properties with bay access from $59.9. That's right, just $59.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, a pool and cabana, boat launch and slips, fishing pier, dog park, storage, and more. It all happens this Saturday, December 7th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at $59.9. Call now to secure your private tour this Saturday. 832-281-6645. That's 832-281-6645. Appointments are limited, so call now and be sure to ask for the year-end event day specials and veteran and first responder discounts. Call now, 832-281-6645. 832-281-6645. Get your piece of coastal paradise.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
This is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Vamonos! Bringing it on home. On a hump day! Ah, yes. Puts me in a happy mood, that song. Well, I guess there's only one thing left to do today, Rob.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
The Daily Lines brought to you by SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house, located at 281 and Bitters. Rob, we got a hell of a day on the hardwood. Hell of a day on the hardwood. A ton of top 25 teams in action, a ton of top 100 matchups.
It's all these conferences battling each other.
Yeah, like more than the AP poll. I use KenPom as my favorite site for my data mining with college basketball. And anytime there's like these, top 25, top 50 KenPom matchups, I'm like, ooh. And they just piled them up into one big day today. Like it's I don't even know how they decided. Let's just do them all at once. Baylor's at UConn, the Big 12 Big East battle.
Now, when did you get in on this?
I got in. I played this game last night.
And you have Baylor
plus 2.5.
Well, that's very good because it looks like Caravan's out tonight.
Oh, righty, baby.
He's out with a head issue.
Okay, good. I mean, not good that he's got a head issue, but
feeling himself, evidently.
He seems like their only good player so far this year. Now I told you yesterday, I was like, I don't feel great betting against UConn in Connecticut, but I got to take my swing here, man. I think Baylor's a better team. I think Dan Hurley is melting down because he doesn't have all the great players that he's had, and he doesn't know how to handle it. So, yeah, I like Baylor. And the number's still plus 2.5. You can still get 2.5.
I like it now.
I got a little bit of a little bit less of a great number on Alabama, North Carolina. I played Alabama last night plus 2. Money's coming in on North Carolina. There's 2.5s and some -3s out there, so I could have gotten 3 points on Alabama instead. Probably should have held out, but dude, it's hard for me in this SEC-ACC challenge to take the ACC seriously. The top of the SEC is clearly better than the ACC.
It's a little deeper, but don't discount the quality of North Carolina. They're still a very good team. They're not as good tonight.
Guess who they're playing.
Yeah, they're not as good as the best team in the country, maybe not by the votes, but they did get 26 or 7 number 1 votes. I don't remember what.
No, they're playing Alabama, not Auburn.
Alabama, also a top 25 team.
No doubt. Very good. So Alabama's at Carolina, going to be a fantastic game as well.
I'd be afraid of this one, though. North Carolina is not bad. And the thing about them, and the thing that you lean on, is senior or at least experienced guard play.
Mm-hmm.
And Carolina's got a dude that's been there for about 15 years now.
Yes, they do. But I saw this same North Carolina team get dog walked off the floor by Auburn, and then they lost to Michigan State. And that's when I was like, oh, because I don't think very much of Michigan State.
No.
And for Michigan State to beat North Carolina, I was like, maybe they're not what I thought they were. And I think Alabama's very good, very, very good. SEC-ACC continues with Florida and Virginia. Florida, a 16.5-point home favorite. Virginia stinks, but, man, 16.5 is a lot of points to give Virginia in a game where the total is 132.
Yeah, that's the number, 132.
Like, it's going to be a 50-40 game. How are you going to lay 16.5?
Well, I think that Virginia still doesn't even have any idea who they are. They're not playing defense like they did under Bennett. They're still trying to do it, and they don't have the horses to do it. I will say that Florida, they're going to get better by every game.
Florida looks they're 8-0 so far.
Their big freshman, that 7'8" kid is now, while he's a stiff, you're not getting any shots over him. Florida's going to be an interesting follow as the season goes, just because they're so young and so talented.
Yeah. The other unbeaten 8-0 team in action tonight, the Marquette Golden Eagles. They're at Iowa State. They are 6-point road dogs at Iowa State. Iowa State's really good.
It's a testament to them.
But for me, man, Shaka Smart as a road underdog is like 65% all time. He just, this is where he shows up. He gets his team ready to travel, and when they are doubted on the road, that's when Shaka Smart teams show up. I'm not going against that. I like Marquette on the road.
What's the line? What's the over?
6. Oh, total's 150.5.
150. With Marquette, you beat them by pressing them. That's how you always beat him. You go at him the way he wants to go at you.
Yeah, is Cam Jones going to turn it over?
I don't think Iowa State has the horses to do that.
I like Marquette. Yeah. Louisiana Tech at Memphis. Louisiana Tech's been pretty good. Memphis 11.5 point home favorites.
Yeah, that's
Kansas at Creighton. This is a good one.
like 15 foot of center going on it.
There's two of the best bigs in the country.
Well,
Hunter Dickinson.
Two of the biggest. I wouldn't go best, but two of the biggest.
Well, I think they're two of the best.
Yeah, they're both going to be really good in Europe.
Hunter Dickinson and Ryan Kalkbrenner. Creighton is a 3.5 point home dog. This was 5. I got it at 4.5, and I was thinking, oh yeah, I did good to get 4.5. Now it's down to 3.5. I think there's some injury news coming with Kansas that will be announced later on today. I don't think they're going to be at full strength, but I like Creighton at home here. Auburn is at Duke.
Ooh, boy.
7-0 Auburn, 5-2 Duke, 4-0 at home Duke. Duke a 2.5 point favorite. Give me the road dog. I've said it before. Auburn, I've been saying it all year. Auburn's the best team in the country. Duke is still not grown into what they're going to be. You talk about not having an identity. I don't think Duke has an identity. No. I think they thought it was just going to roll out the ball with Cooper Flagg and we were going to win football or win basketball games. It ain't working that way. And Auburn has a grown-ass man, maybe the best player in the country, John I. Broome, who I think is going to eat Cooper Flagg's head tonight.
Yeah, they won't guard each other, but the better players on Auburn. That's a tough basketball team. And don't discount Duke yet. They're not where they're going to be, but
I'm
not good.
They're good.
Yeah, I'm just telling everybody else.
I just don't think they're Auburn.
Because I get the sense tonight could be ugly. At home, Duke is in for it tonight.
Pitt's at Mississippi State. Mississippi State 5.5 point favorites over 18th ranked Pitt. And Oregon, Altman's boys go to USC. They're laying 5.5 against the Trojans.
Big Ten already playing conference games.
They're getting it underway. We saw Michigan, Wisconsin last night. All right, that's going to do it, friends. By the way, Daily Line is brought to you by SA Card House. We'll be back tomorrow. Do it all over again. Party starts at 6. Blitz coming up at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work,